Hello to whoever's watching the replay of this. I decided I felt like live streaming and seeing who shows up. It's been a very strange few days. Just as I suspected, the fight's not over. Found some very suspicious stuff. And now someone wants to meet me privately that I don't know. Although I Googled them. I don't trust them. I've always mentally prepared for something like this. But it's still weird. Anyway. Let's see if we can invite some friends to come hang out. Probably should have warned some folks I was going to go live, but I just sat here and decided to do so. I'll invite Raquel. Raquel's always a nice girl. I probably should check to see if other people are live right now. I actually wasn't paying attention, if I'm honest. Oh, shit. Yeah. Someone's very much live. Ooh.
So give them a D. A D, right? Yeah, I'm catchphrases. Chef. Look, I just want to say I'm still pissed off I didn't get my first version of this bullshit because I ordered the motherfucker on Amazon. Yeah, canceled. I wanted the new Warriors, and now I'm getting this shit. This is like lower tier new Warriors. You know what I mean?
Hey, Insanity. Hey, Keck. How are y'all doing? Excuse me. What are y'all up to tonight? I don't know what tab this is. Sorry. Sorry. All right. Just gaming a bit before bed, making sure my cam is still working right for tomorrow's morning video. Very good. I feel so guilty. There's so many streams going on. Oh, and I've missed so many of you. I haven't really streamed a lot, so you didn't miss a lot, Kat. Don't worry. Don't feel bad. It's okay. I don't stream very often. It's not like it's regular. I don't have a schedule. I just kind of jump on when it seems right. And something and stuff is bothering me right now, so I figured I'd come here, hang out, and maybe talk about it. Yeah, but the thing is, I knew that it was going to be. I made a TikTok video May 21st. Well, actually, one of them was May 21st, and one was a little earlier on, explaining what was going on and what I thought was going to happen. That's why I knew where to look. And I have screenshots that I'm going to go show at the election board tomorrow. Oddly, though, I talked to one person. I was told by someone. I was basically given the green light by someone who's still in office to talk to two people. And I contacted those two people. One doesn't seem that interested. The other kind of does. That person that's kind of interested seems to have given my number to somebody, a doctor. And they wanted to meet and talk. And I asked if we can meet in Midwest City. And they said, of course. Unless, and quote, unless you want to meet at my cool bachelor pad here in Norman. It's pretty awesome and quiet. First off, that sounds like whoever it is barking up the wrong damn tree with me. And I don't trust going to somewhere that's quiet when I don't know them. Especially if I am doing something that might piss off a lot of people. They must be out of their mind. So I half jokingly wrote back, I am not trying to get killed, sir. I can meet you at the Starbucks in Midwest City near I-40. What time sounds good? And they said the best they can do is late Friday or Saturday night. I'm like, Friday's fine. So I decided to Google this doctor. Judging by mentioning the bachelor pad, I assumed it was a man. Apparently it's a woman. An eye doctor, at least from what I can find. And she was in the news a couple of times. One of the times was for January 6th to protest against Trump losing or it being rigged or whatever. The part that gives me hesitation is that Trump endorsed Stitt, the current governor. So if there's a chance she is a fan of Trump and perhaps a fan of whoever he endorses, why would she want to talk to me somewhere quiet, like her house, about something that would possibly prove that the current governor cheated the election? Sounds like the shit's already starting. I don't have a tense. I'm not social enough. Daylight and bodyguards. Got to watch out for things. Well, they say they have patience all day, so nighttime's best they can do. It's okay, I'm an insomniac. In moments like this, I don't go alone. Besides, Midwest City is my terrain, so to speak. I know the area, so if anyone thinks they're going to meet me somewhere private and quiet, no thank you. I've seen too many movies. I know how that plays out. And if it is a woman, why in the world would a woman ask a woman she's never met to meet her somewhere quiet? It looks like I may have contacted the wrong fucking person. Because there is millions of dollars at play in this whole thing. Millions of dollars in campaigns, $1 million of deals, business deals and stuff that Stitt will most likely want to do, even though they are failures every time he does it. And if I do something that's going to ruin his shit, there's going to be people around him who aren't going to be happy. One of my friends earlier today, I wish I did have something to strap, but he's like, stay strapped or get clapped. That's my motto. I'm like, I'll do the best I can. Those things are fucking expensive to buy. I'm broke. Shit. But still. And I have seen so many movies like Pelican Brief and all kinds of other shit that involves politics and crazy shit happening. Like, I know not to trust people I don't know in a private, quiet place when I have information that is incredibly sensitive. Or if this person doesn't realize that, like, I already have it all over TikTok talking about it. It'd be awfully strange if I just suicided, wouldn't it? It'd be awfully odd. But odd timing, wouldn't it be? I don't plan on that. I've never been a quiet one. Certainly don't plan on starting now. But I figured I'd live stream and drop stuff, apparently. But I figured I'd live stream and talk about it, so that way, if anything ever weird happened, this would be here. You never ever know for sure. I need some rolling papers and a roll of cigarettes. So I'll be right back. Hopefully, Raquel will be here soon because I sent her an invite. So I'll be right back. So y'all be good. I'll be right back. So what have y'all been up to today? I'm so afraid I'll just go on a huge rant about everything if I'm left to talk. But if y'all are curious as to what some of this mess looks like, I can give you a sample. I will type in my TikTok and you can go and look at the most recent video and read the comments. It's a video that doesn't have like a little label across it, and read the comments. And there is tons of people who didn't vote, and the portal shows that their vote is processing, and they are pissed. There's people who didn't vote, and it shows nothing is processing. So it doesn't sound like the system is updating itself. It sounds like the data is processing. Nobody who's voted has, like, the process isn't complete. There's nothing completed or done on some of the people who didn't vote, which is where it should be. If you didn't vote, there should be nothing processing. So, yeah, people from all over Oklahoma are freaking out right now. They're freaking out because it looks like they voted and they didn't. And I'm wondering why the system is taking this long to finish processing, because I was told by somebody in office that tomorrow at noon might be the deadline to contest the election. And so I don't have much time. You don't understand. Griffin, most of who owns media here is Hillary Media. No, not Hillary Clinton's. Their last name is Hillary. It's a rich family. But Hillary Media and Griffin Media control most of our media here in Oklahoma. And the fact that News 4 even covered the fact that 60,000 illegitimate voter cards were returned to the election board. I'm surprised they even covered that. But I had kicked up a stink for 2 or 3 weeks on TikTok about it before it was, something was done. And remember, that's 60,000 that were returned. That's not including the ones people just saw and threw in the trash because it wasn't their voter's card. I had people coming forward to me on TikTok, which I still have all the comments and everything, telling me that they received cards they didn't ask for, that they weren't registered. I had one guy tell me he received 2 cards and he's a felon. He never registered to vote. So I have a feeling there's a chance they never took those names off the rolls. They may have, they may have not. But the people I have talked to, they didn't even know there was a voters portal, and they are freaking out because a lot of them, they forgot it was voting day. Some of them couldn't get off work in time. Some were out of town. You know how it goes. And they're seeing, a lot of them are seeing voting processing. Maybe take it to Tim Pool. Tim Pool's not going to fucking talk to me. He's busy with, like, Spike Cohen and shit. He's going to talk to me. I don't even know how to reach him. So there's nothing you can do at night right now anyway, I doubt. I guess I can see what happens at the election board tomorrow when I try to contest it. I mean, if you know how to get a hold of Tim Pool, tell him you might have a story, and go ahead and tell him. I mean, I don't mind if you do, but I'm terrible at rolling cigarettes. They look like little pregnant worms when I roll a cigarette. More or less gets the job done, I suppose. Oh, a couple of people were wondering if I wanted to do this because, like, I think I could win. No. I didn't mind the idea of winning, but I wasn't necessarily looking forward to it, to be honest. The idea of being responsible for 4 million people scares the shit out of me. Basically, I just wanted my ideas out there, and I want to take a stand against dirty politics. And I can do that. I don't have to be governor to do that. I just had to play the game for a while, get close to these people, see how they play, what they do, who they connect with, blah, 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 blah. So I had a plan. I had almost more plans for what happened after the election when I lost than I did if I won. Almost. I had a lot of plans for both. Even if I had won, I would assume something was strange and I would have had it checked, to be honest. I've said that before. So thankfully it's a record of that. But yeah, it's sanity. If you want to try to contact Tim Pool, I'm fine with it. But I'm sure he gets mail 100 times a day, so I doubt he'd give a shit about this. I mean, something interesting comes of it, I suppose. I don't mind. There's a guy who has a small Kansas podcast. I might talk to him tomorrow. It's not lit evenly. But I'm sorry, I just find that so weird that someone I don't know is like, yeah, I got your name from someone. I'm trying not to say names yet, because, again, I could just be overly suspicious. Although my phone, yeah. The messages are obviously there, but then going, yeah, he gave me your number. Why would a woman refer to her place as a bachelor pad? That seems like an odd choice of words. Like, I looked her up. Apparently, she sued someone for sexual harassment a couple of years ago, or a year or two ago. I'm like, and she's offering to take someone to her bachelor pad that's nice and quiet. I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading that, but bruh. Like, I can't explain how much you're barking up the wrong tree if that's what she's joking. She could just be trying to be funny. Maybe I just don't know her sense of humor. So, but I don't trust. If I have sensitive information, I'm not going to go to someone's house that I don't know that's out somewhere quiet. That's trying to get killed. That's what that is. That's you trying to get yourself killed if you do that. They underestimate how much I do not trust people. So, yeah, like, we'll meet in public or we won't fucking meet at all. That's just how that is. I know oftentimes people have pictured wild scenarios in their head 100 times. They figured never would happen. Yeah. You may not like it, but had you won, you would have had to do. Yeah, I wouldn't have liked it. I mean, I'd be nervous of the responsibility. I took on this with the possibility of I might win. I didn't think I would, but I had tons and tons of plans I was going to do to help fix Oklahoma. It's a bit of a pile there. So I had everything mapped out. Ways to increase our defense, security, alternate grid in case of an EMP attack, something that's better than the windmills we have. Because in Oklahoma, you can't necessarily count on solar or wind power. So I had another option I had planned. And ways of cleaning up the water, securing the schools, everything. I had a plan for everything. I had a whole year to think on it. Actually, some of it I thought on for longer, but still. I don't know of any specific way you can get a hold of him. Just know that he has the resources. Pretty sure you just Google him and there should be a way for you. Maybe. But it would be more appropriate for you to contact than me, since you have all the info and you're in the thing. That's true. You know what? All right, I'll look him up real quick. Maybe he's got a page where you can talk to his agent or whatever the fuck it is that he's got. Hold on. Excuse me. Tim Pool. No, I didn't pick much. It's his Twitter, YouTube, Wikipedia. God, he's got his own fucking Wikipedia. Actually, at this point, I think I have my own Wikipedia. So, IMDb, really? Okay. Oh, Tim Pool website. Okay, that might work. Oh, okay. Let's go click on that. Let's see if there's a contact thing. Oh, contact. There it is. Okay. All right. So, select a department. Pitches. Scroll down. Oh, that's not a whole. So basically, pitches. That's lots of people going to be saying so. General info inquiry. I'll try it. Why not? All right. Hello. My name is Reed. All right. I just don't like tell them what's going on. Just write me back when you can. So, all right. Did it submit? Did it? I can't tell if that's. There was an error trying to send your message. It's not letting me send a message to him. It's telling me there's an error. I can't send anything to him. Hey, Bone, how are you? Oh, you're heading to bed. Darn. Hey, Red Monarch. Boy, a bunch of y'all. Hold on a second. Combat. All right. So, all right. Let me get back on this one. It'd be appropriate for you to contact me. All right. Right? My dad was in the Army, and my mom, she's hard to explain. That's hard to explain, but yeah. I learned how to have a distrust of everything. Not that they were bad to me, not like that, but they were kind of savage. I'll say that. Right? Hey, Red Monarch, how are you, darling? Bruh, I think I can prove election fraud in our election from the other day. I'm sad for you to go, but I am glad that you were here. Oh shit, that's a lot going on right there, my guy. Holy crap! Well, lots of hugs, Keck. Right? Worst case scenario, nothing happens. Exactly. Worst case scenario. Then I was wrong. Okay. That doesn't mean, I mean, at least they'll see I was willing to try. Just sorry, there's other people in the house. So yeah, but I figured I would talk about it here. I don't know. Like, part of me thinks, is it a bad idea to say their name? But what if they are nice and I'm putting them in jeopardy if I say their names? You know, it's like, yeah, 18 inmates, no officers. Think, yeah, that's still bad for the inmates. That's still bad. Like, there's probably a few that probably didn't want to be in that. I wouldn't want to be in that. What not, man? Got some mail. What is this? They're still sending this to my mother. Mutual of Omaha has been trying to sell my mother insurance for a long time, and I lost her in 2012. Boy. But, yeah. I always pictured rooting out corruption and fighting the bad guys. I always pictured that. I think it's always weird when it actually comes down to doing it. But I'm sure there's a reason why more don't. I've been telling some people on TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. Actually, I called out one of the candidates who doesn't seem to be giving a shit that he got cheated, possibly. Don't name drop unless you need to. Correct. I mean, I will already have screenshots, and I will send it to different people of the text message of who I will be meeting, so that if something is to happen, they'll know that was the last person to see me. So, yeah, kind of a, text message version of a dead man switch. I mean, I certainly hope nothing happens, but they got to realize that my phones are file cabinets, and, like, I'm the kind of person that has multiple contingency plans. Have you ever met those people who overthink and over-worry constantly? Yes, I am them. I am one of those. Oh, hey, Optic, how are you? Missed you. Haven't seen you in ages, darling. Just don't go head-to-head again. I don't even think that would do me any good. I hope that's not how bad the situation is. And besides, I'm worried that somebody's going to try to offer me money, because there's a chance that they'll try to offer money or threaten you, and if those don't work, they usually have a contingency as well. That's why I didn't keep it quiet like you see in the movies, and someone goes, I have evidence, meet me at this place, and then they disappear and the evidence is gone. That's why it's all over Twitter and my Facebook and TikTok. 2 of my accounts on TikTok, actually. And now here. So that way, even if something happens to me, it's everywhere. And it can be shared everywhere. I've never been one to go quietly. I do hope these people are okay. It would be very sad if they are not. Good things. Eating cornflakes. Heard that Mutual Omaha bit. Yeah. And signs of voter fraud. So there's that going on. And someone wanted to talk to me about it and meet them somewhere quiet and private. And I'm like, I've seen entirely too many movies. I no. No. Uh-uh. Oh, it seems weird I'd be ambushed by an optometrist. That seems a little strange. I don't know. Maybe they won't be alone either. Who knows? When you start pissing off people or potentially pissing off people when there's millions of dollars involved, you run these risks, I suppose. Oh, for real? Signs of that? Yeah. See, here's the thing. I voted and I checked my voters portal, and it said it was processing. And I remember that Chris didn't vote. He signed up as an independent last year. An independent could vote for Republican if they wanted. And in December, they changed that. And I know who's responsible for that. Fucking John Bennett. It was like, apparently, someone theorizes that John Bennett decided not to accept independent votes because he was afraid they would vote in rhinos. So he ended up shooting us in the foot because quite a few independents were actually going to vote for me and some other people, and they couldn't. So their vote went to Democrat, or it didn't go at all. Although now I'm not so sure because a lot of independent voters also didn't vote, and it looks like a vote was cast for them anyway. So if it can't go to Republican, it would have to go to Democrat. So I have probably close to 100 or more people on my TikTok, both accounts, commenting and sending me pictures on Facebook of their screens showing that their vote is processing, and they swear that they did not vote. And people are freaking out, and they're like, how in the world could this have happened? How could he have been voted in? So many people hate him. I mean, this is the same guy who, to help his campaign, went to Florida, to Mar-a-Lago, and campaigned there for money. That's kind of weird to go to Florida when you're supposed to be running for office here. I'm not used to seeing a governor go to another state to campaign money. That's odd, but okay. And then you take into consideration that sometime in early May, over 60,000 illegitimate voter cards were sent out to people who weren't supposed to get them. And 60,000 were mailed them back, while the other few thousand probably just threw them in the trash can. And if they didn't take those names off the voter rolls, those people would be looking like they're registered to vote, and they wouldn't know they're registered to vote, so a vote could be cast in their name, which is what I thought would happen. It seems strange because they had this election wrapped up really fast. They called the winner in about 9 minutes, and yet for some reason the system is still processing. Weird. You should have an experienced shooter security with you. I'm not going to comment on that. Just saying. Not a bad idea, though. If you think I can hire security, like, no. No. Forgot it's 4th of July. How about jumped out of my skin when I heard it sound like a gunshot go off? It's fucking fireworks. Forgot it's almost 4th of July. Preferably somebody with combat experience. There's a limit to what I can get a hold of right now. Preferably somebody with experience with high-stress situations. Now, the high-stress situations, I have that situation covered. Yes, that's me and at least one or two other people I know. So we got that covered, yes. I am in constant state of fight or flight mode. Like, I'm never relaxed. I am constantly stressed out. I usually get to sleep like about time the sun rises, sleep for a few hours, and I'm at it again. Constantly stressed out. That reminds me, I should probably take my anxiety medication. I am high strung as fuck. Always. I gotta go find my juice. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Left my juice outside. Combat experience in high stress situation. I actually do know someone. Yeah. When I first started to run, he offered to be my security if I won. I've known him for years. He used to whoop my ass at pool all the time. I actually do know someone. I just don't know how he'd feel coming up all the way up here for possibly no reason. I'd probably have to at least pay for his fuel, and I don't have the money to pay for his fuel. I barely have money for mine. Actually, I really don't have money for mine. I mean, I could drop my PayPal. If y'all want to drop me $50 and I could just pay him $50 to come up here, possibly. I mean, I don't know what kind of vehicle he's got. He's probably got a truck. Knowing him, he's probably got a truck. This is Oklahoma, and he's pretty redneck. But if I remember correctly, he was in the Army, I think. Was he in the Army? I should probably fucking ask him real quick. Actually, let me go to my Facebook and ask him. I gotta figure out where to find him. Oh god, blanks. I haven't talked to him in so long. What's his fucking name? Oh. Oh, there he is. I remember his last name. I couldn't remember his first name. I just always called him by his last name. It was like we were in the military or something. Hey, buddy. See who responds. He was active 46 minutes ago, so maybe. He's gonna think I'm nuts. But I don't know. It might be such short notice. He might not be able to. I don't know. Oh well. I'll wait for him to respond. So yeah, one of the people who volunteered to be my security detail, I just messaged him. I mean, I think he can handle high stress situations, and I don't know how much combat experience. I forgot to ask. So he doesn't mind getting in a hand-to-hand with people. He used to be a bouncer at a bar when I first met him, so he had no problem bouncing people when necessary. And he's a stocky dude. Like his arms are like my legs. He's a stocky fucker. Well, it can't hurt to ask and explain it. Yeah, I'll tell him everything. Absolutely. The more people that know, the better. So, oh. He's like, how do you know there were 70,000 illegitimate cards? I'm like, because one, the news covered it, and also people came and told me and showed me pictures. Duh. How do I know? Bitch. Ask me how I know. Shit. Of course, I knew about it before the news covered it, but still, nonetheless, the news covered it. Maybe he will give you some advice or something. I don't need advice. I might need extra people. I don't need advice. Part of me has been waiting for some moment like this for a long time. I don't need advice. You'd be telling me that don't go by yourself, make sure there's somebody else. Like, I am aware. Prepare. Yeah, be careful what I say on YouTube because I don't want to get my stream in trouble. This person's acting salty at me. They should be thrilled there's a chance their candidate could win. I'll just give her a thumbs up because she's like, everybody's been a frazzled shambles the last 10 weeks. We're all trying to catch our breath and get caught up, and they understand that this situation is a time sensitive. She wants me to go. Google it yourself, lady. You're the one that wants to find out. 60,000 voters cards, Oklahoma. I will try to find it. Oh, there we go. That didn't take me fucking long. This person could have done the same dang thing. People always are like, oh, why don't you send me a link? Find it yourself. I've done most of this work. Jackass. Oh, I'm sorry. It's saying 65,000. I was off by 5,000. I feel like telling her, like, you could have just Googled that too, Can't people even do research for themselves? They want everybody to just hand it to them. And then when you do research and hand it to them, they were like, can you show me references? It's like, oh, shut the fuck up. Jesus H. Christ. I got to do everything. Oh, hey, Lauren.
Hey.
Somebody was like, how do you know it was 60,000 illegitimate cards? And I'm like, because the news covered it for a second. Can you send me a link? Bitch, I've been doing all this work. You can't Google it? I Googled it and I found it in 5 seconds, and it was 65,000 cards. I'm like, well, my bad. I was off by 5,000. It's even worse than we thought. I'm like, can't anybody just Google it themselves? I got to fucking hand them everything on a silver platter. And then they're like, can you show me links? I've given you so much. I'm like, bitch, people are just... Oh, anyway, so I talked to a few people today. One is still in office. Yeah? Yes. I'll write the private chat. I can tell you who one of the people I originally talked to. So I talked to him, the one of the state.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, dang. And he's like, well, and I feel like he gave me the green light to go for it because he says, well, if you're going to contest this election, you will have to hurry. You're going to have to go to the Capitol tomorrow because I think the deadline is at noon to contest it. And I'm like, so I feel like that's giving me the green light to do so. And he was, if I say that's going to give away who it is. But he doesn't want to look like he's betraying the governor. So but yeah, at least low key, I got the green light to go for it. He sees what I'm talking about. He's like, it's not a good reason to do it. And he told me to get a hold of 2 different people that might be able to help. One doesn't seem interested in helping, which is strange. And the other one seemed kind of interested, and then gave my number to a doctor, who I thought was a man, judging by the way they spoke. But I Googled them, and they're a woman. But they were like, hey, we can meet tomorrow and talk. Or we could go to my bachelor pad that's nice and quiet. I'm like, and I didn't know who it was at first. I was like, sir, I'm not trying to get killed. I can meet you at Starbucks. And so I Googled who this person was, and I can't find any other person in Norman, this particular doctor, but an optometrist. And this person, apparently, there's a news article that apparently they went to the January 6th thing, which I wouldn't normally have an issue with. But apparently there was some talk of, I didn't read the whole article. I skimmed over it. But apparently they went there to support Trump. And looking back, I know that Trump endorsed Stitt. So if Trump's endorsements mean anything to this person, they may not want to see Stitt's election overturned. But apparently they'd like to meet me in private. I've seen enough movies to know that's a terrible fucking idea. That's why I was like, I'm thinking Starbucks or nothing. Like, I'm meeting in public or nothing. But weird, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, darn it. It's like, Maury, you stepped in it now.
Hey, Optic Racer, how are you?
Right? Yeah, I was like excited. We haven't seen Optic here in a bit. My neck keeps freezing up, so I'm going to take off. Aw, well, darn it. Well, be safe and be good, and we'll miss you. But yeah,
Good night.
I was bugged by that. Like, why would I can't even pronounce it? Richard, give my number to this doctor. Hi, Bob. Come on, girl. Let me move some of this stuff out your way. There's our beautiful girl. Hi, Bob. Hey, pretty kitty. Hi. She's a good cat. There's our kitty. I gotta paint that part of the wall. It looks like shit. It really does. I hate that. I guess I didn't pet her for long enough. My bad. Anyway, but I figured just in case something weird happens, there'd be some live stream of me talking about the situation. And I have the text messages with the person and people I contacted today. So I can screenshot them and send them to like 2 or 3 other people just in case, because if something happens, they try to take my phone, whatever. I still have access to everything. So I've mentally prepared for weird ass shit most of my life. I cannot remember a time looking back that I didn't picture weird ass movie scenarios. So I figured I'd hang out and talk about that here, make me feel a little better. Plus, if something weird's going to happen, it's important to tell people. So. And if I'm weirded out, it's nice to talk to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Because these folks are all in different states. You're in a different state. It'd be hard to go after everybody. Shit. Especially when nobody's even using their real name. I don't even know anybody's real name. I think you told me once, but I don't remember. And you don't have to tell me. I'm so used to seeing Raquel, I don't think of anything else. Oh shit! This person wrote a lot.
About what? I'm sorry. I was responding to someone.
Oh, it's okay. Believe me, I'm not satisfied with the integrity of this election, but all I'm waiting on is 2026. This person's still hung up on 2020 being fixed. For God's sakes, move on. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a dick, but like, if we can't get this fixed, what makes you think we're getting that fixed? We did have people working the polls that said that they had complained people hadn't gotten new cards. Not sure if they were still able to vote. They were on the list still. What is your theory on how this affected the election? Because personally, I'd like to see a hand count on every race. I think the race was the most affected, but I'm not sure how many other seats were affected too. I want a hand count as well. And some people are thinking that I'm wanting this because I lost. No, believe me, it's not that. In fact, if they redo this and find out ones that are bad, if there's a possibility that they didn't want to make it look like he won too easily, that they might have thrown some extra votes at the rest of the candidates, I might end up with less numbers. That is a possibility if some of these votes were illegitimate. Like I said, I don't mind losing, but I want to lose fair. Because it wasn't about getting money and control. It was about stopping the corruption. That was what the whole plan was about from the start. I've always said that. And I always said the fight wasn't going to end on June 28th. If something went wrong, I was going to do something about it, or try at least.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not trying to kiss anyone's ass. In fact, I'm the opposite of that. I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off. But what's the point of doing anything if the election's not fair? What's the point of even bothering to get out of the house and vote? There is no point. It just means everybody wastes hundreds of thousands of dollars on advertising to get people to get out of the house for nothing. It's no point. Not a point to anything anymore if there's not that. Nothing will change for the better. Everything will just get worse and worse. If I can stop the corruption, to me, I did win. We all will win, in a way. Someone in the comment section said they moved from Colorado to Oklahoma because they were doing that shit in Colorado, too. I'm like, somebody who has experience with this shit show, apparently. They left one shithole and came to another. I'm like, man, I hope nothing weird comes of it. But I mean, I don't see how rocking the boat's not going to get someone mad. Because what if I'm just a little bit wrong, but mostly right? So it looks off, and then someone's going to be like, he's too close. And although, honestly, I don't really like going anywhere by myself. I mean, I sometimes will, but it's not often. So there's the good chance that every time I leave, I will have someone. There's almost always someone at the house. There's almost always somebody with me.
Mm-hmm.
Whether because I don't like to drive sometimes, or they want to go get Dr. Peppers, and I'm going to go get cigarettes, and we just go together. So it would be very difficult unless they plan on getting everyone. It's going to be very hard to get me by myself. I don't go to people's houses. I don't go to weird, quiet, isolated places. I don't. I'm home, the neighbors, getting iced coffee, or occasionally at the Capitol, which is not far from me. So they'd have to catch me between here and there. And when I go to get coffee, I take one road, and then when I come back, I take a different road. I don't come back the same way I came, or I went. And that's an old habit my dad taught me when I was younger, is that if you always take the same route every time, it becomes predictable and people can catch you up like that. I had a strange upbringing. I think it's about to come in handy. Because I was taught all these different things, but I never lived a life that required it. It's always good to know it and not need it. It's preferred. But I mean, that's always good in case even if you've got some guy who's stalking you, you'll know your route, you know where you're going, and you can know something's wrong and protect yourself. It's always important because anybody can be a weirdo stalker type, So that works for that sort of thing too. What are you talking about now? Aren't you out of politics now? No. I mean, I didn't win the race, but I promised everyone that I'd be the most honest candidate anyone ever had. And that even if I lost, I would still continue to try to fight the corruption in politics. So the fight's not over. Some people got cheated out of their seats. And I plan to do something about it. Or at least try.
Mm-hmm.
And politics affects all of us. It is all our problems. Whether we vote or not, we have to deal with the ramifications of politics. So I might as well be honest. There's no fucking point to any of it. My uncle didn't help liberate Auschwitz to come back to a country that's going to go to shit. Although it did. My dad didn't sign a blank check to the army just so, and warn me what was going to happen just so the world could go to shit and me do nothing. I'd be letting my parents down again if I did.
Mm.
I know that sounds like a lot to carry, yeah. But so many people, I think people are afraid to make waves. People are worried about their families being targeted, things like that. That's why almost nobody knows I have it. Well, y'all know I have a kid. But hardly anybody knows what she looks like.
Hey, Chris.
Nope.
No. That wasn't Chris?
Nope, that was the offspring.
Oh, hey, kiddo.
Hello to the cat. Oh, just put the cat on the keyboard.
Hey, Slasher's on right now.
I sent that fucker an invite to come hang out with us.
Well, he's doing his movie review right
Oh, I
now.
forgot about that. Ooh, should we go join him? Because I've already vented kind of, and now it's on here on YouTube
Well, I'm
server.
pretty sure he's gonna. Once he's done talking with the movie review, I'm pretty sure he's gonna end his live stream.
Have you associated with any like-minded groups? Fellow citizens? Yes, that a lot of the concerns and complaints have been coming to me from fellow citizens on TikTok. I mean, there's over 100 comments on both accounts in this. Like, there's a lot of people. There's a few that said they didn't vote and nothing is showing up, and that's the way it's supposed to be. If you didn't vote, there should be nothing processing. That's the way it ought to be. I found 8 of those out of probably close to 200 people that are pissed and confused. So that's an interesting ratio. But there's some people, there's some groups here in Oklahoma that talk about election integrity, and I try to write to them, and they won't talk to me. So something's up. Maybe they're okay with election integrity when it suits them.
I'm listening to Slasher.
No, I feel like going over there and meowing at him. Nobody's wrote me back yet, it seems. Nope. Okay. Let me go find him.
They're talking about this movie called Dr. Giggles.
Oh, yeah, he threatened us with that stupid movie. Why does it not show him live? I don't get why it does not show that Slasher.
Well, are you subscribed to him?
I ought to be, unless YouTube unsubscribed me, which it does do that occasionally.
Oh, YouTube
But
has a bad habit of that for some
I've been
reason.
subscribed to him for like years. Mix Splitter. Yeah, I'm subscribed and the bell is wrong. So I don't know why he wasn't showing up.
Oh, and everywhere
Dr. Munchies.
Yeah.
So that's why they didn't. They were watching the movie when I invited them.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Oh, I got my cap locks on. So I just yelled meow at everybody. No!
So, where are we at now?
Jen went home.
He said he was supposed to do the movie yesterday, but his back was acting up.
Oh, yeah. I feel bad for him. He's got some, like, a lot of back issues going on, apparently.
And yeah, the next thing I remember after she left the house is when
Oh wait, they go to the party. They go to the drunken party.
yeah.
And the 49ers hat wearing cop and the black cop. Yeah, I was calling black cop. Black cop. Who ends up a
Yeah,
hero?
on Officer Blackman.
He ends up he ends up being a hero of this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a big
One
hero.
of one of the heroes.
I think he did the most terrible.
Alright, so what is this shit? They pull up to the party, the kids in their cars getting drunk. And this motherfucker comes out, pulls out the bullhorn. The old cop, the one with the 49ers hat. He's like, alright. Blah blah blah, get out of here, blah blah blah. And these motherfuckers are tossing beer cans at his feet.
Oh, Magruder. His name's Officer Magruder.
Fuck, I'm hungry.
Magruder.
I should have ate something. I don't think I really ate today.
I already had dinner.
I was given like I ate half of a quesadilla.
Mm.
I just wasn't feeling it at the time. Now I'm just like rabid as fuck. Alright, let me check Twitter, see anything's going on in Twitter land. Oh, Darius did write me back. It's just that tell me that he did. He sent me a meow.
They're all
Nice.
drunk, but he's like, Your Honor.
There you go.
All right. So he what? My thing is just like when I look at these tabs, they're supposed to tell me like, you know, hey, you got something here. But nope, it doesn't bother doing it. Nothing going on in Twitter land.
Yeah, what is that? Is that that conference time?
No,
I found somebody on TikTok occasionally is doing that. I feel like telling him, I'm like, dude, I was doing that before you, bro. I may have to make a video and be like, show him the date of the video, be like, I did that a long time ago, sir. Just in case he tries to think I'm stealing it from him. But people on TikTok are pretty savage, though. I like the interacting, and I don't like doing live streams on TikTok because, I mean, it takes one person complaining to cut your stream completely. And it's annoying. And it's very, you have to be very careful what you talk about on there or you're going to get cut off. All it has to do is just hate on you to end your stream. I had one video that was showing a clip of the news, and I got my video suspended for harassment. And so, I mean, it's ridiculous. So I'll just stick to what I'm doing with it. Oh, yeah, on here, yeah. I don't know. Some of the people, I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know. I'll see about it. It's been a while, and right now I still got to focus on this mess and see it through. I'm just so disappointed. So many candidates were like election integrity and this and that, and then believing in a fair, campaign, and then they have the moment they have an opportunity to do something about that, and they fold like cowards and don't do it. It's pathetic. One of the candidates is an ex-cop. He's built like a tree. The dude is huge, and he can't be bothered. I don't know. I don't know what. No excuses. Yeah, you're very good at it. Well, thank you. But yeah, I had planned, like, the moment I started this, my simple presence was planned. I planned to be an absolute pain in the ass. I can't just stop being a pain in the ass. I've been one since I was little. I can't just not be one now. If I didn't see anything wrong with the voters portal, I'd just be salty that Stitt was in. But I wouldn't. But I wouldn't do much except complain because it wouldn't be anything else. But I'm finding shit that's suspicious. I can't unsee that. Even if that was a friend, I would have to call it out for being wrong. I also contacted a place called Red River TV. They did one of my interviews, and he sounded very interested and would like me to send him all the screenshots. I told him to check out my TikTok. That would be easier. Just read all the fucking comments. Just read all the people complaining. That will help. And I sent him a picture, a sample of one, because one of my text friends said that he checked and he hadn't voted, and it looked like it was processing. So I screenshot that and sent it to him. I was like, this is one example of many.
Yeah, that's right. When she comes home and she hears her parents banging, or her dad banging.
Bruh. I'm sitting here listening to like Slasher saying that. I'm like, bruh, I did not expect to hear that. There seems to be some notifications going off over here real quick. Let me take a gander.
What's the lead up to the carnival?
Alright, someone else has messaged me.
It happened after the conference. The next thing I remember after everyone goes home is the conference.
Competition guy was at the carnival.
If you did not vote,
Yeah.
Alright. Someone else took a picture of theirs and just sent it to
I know
me.
this is gonna sound weird, but if you did not,
Alright. So far, and this includes some of my replies. So we'll say half the comments are mine for responding. So that would make it 108 people who have commented, and maybe 3 of those on this account said their stuff looks fine. The rest are highly concerned. Yeah, you hear Slasher's video. Yeah, he's got a live stream going. We're doing the news is a very good thing. You can cover international and national and local. Yeah, there's some local shit definitely needs covered. All the good stuff. So, well, there's some tea to spill. Boy, yes there is. Hold on, I need to respond to this lady. She says she did not vote. Please check the Oklahoma voters portal. Put in your name and your birth date, and then check your voters history. Let's see if it shows anything for June 28th. All right. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much the basic instructions I'm giving everybody. And if they do find something suspicious, they're to send the picture to me on Facebook. I've been telling people to tag me on Facebook and post it, but apparently they decided just to send it to my DMs, which I mean I guess works. Except I don't have it on my phone, so it makes it hard for me to show people. So I've screenshot people's comments in here so that when I don't have service, I can still show the election board what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We're at the summit.
Oh, apparently I'm missing some highs. Hug Manticore.
I forgot. How did you
All right.
feel ugly women?
Okay, I didn't get much else than that. All right. Oh, now I got a notification that he's live. Of course. Anyway, so actually, just for the Bushi, what's up? Hey, Bushi,
Hey, Boosh.
you want to hop up here with us? But for real quick, I will share my screen and give everybody basically a sample of what I'm talking about, real quick. So this is the Oklahoma Voters Portal. So what you do, simply simplifies it. So September the 30th, 1981. Because I'm fucking old. Find me. Nice. I love cookies. So there's my precinct. Blah blah blah. Voter history. Everybody. The people who some of the people who didn't vote, they're not showing this. The data entry by county election, not yet complete. Theirs isn't showing this. And the other issue is they changed the system. So when I voted for mayor in February, it doesn't show me my voting method. It doesn't show me who I voted for or how. So how can I confirm by looking at it and say, yes, I did this, it's correct? How can I do that? I can't. And that causes a problem. And there are people who didn't vote, and it says that the data is being entered, and it won't show them the method or how. But if they didn't vote, this should not be here. Pure and simple. It should not be here. And that is what everybody's freaking out about. Chris
Boosh is at work.
Huh?
He's at work right now.
All right. Like, let's do 10, 9. History. He did not vote yesterday because when Chris found out that as an independent he could not vote Republican, he didn't vote at all. He did vote in February with me, so that's correct. But this should not be here right now. This shouldn't be. One lady said she checked hers and it showed a 2018 absentee ballot that she did not do. I told her to take a picture of that and we'll try to add that to the mess because I don't know what to do about that. They've been talking about that for 2 years. Man, pictures didn't happen at this point. Oddly enough, I do have pictures. But yeah. So, yeah. So it's like the fun's just getting started. Saved me gas though. I was tired of driving everywhere. It was fucking annoying.
You not a person anymore?
I'm sorry?
You not like your doctor anymore?
There wasn't much else to learn. Oh,
She messaged you back?
Oh yes. Let me refer to my notes. All right. I think she has a program to say, "Hey, it's Dr. Kish," because I've noticed that every time she writes, that's the start of it. Because I mean, at this point, I already know who it is, so why would you write that? I'm seeing patients all day. Best I can do is late Friday or Saturday. I said Friday is fine.
Okay.
And so that's been the end of it. I haven't dropped names, but I've dropped slight hints as to who some of the people are. So that if something happens, this is up on the YouTube server. And I'm going to screenshot those. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to screenshot them, send it to Dee, screenshot it, send it to Chris. So, and a few other people, possibly out of state as well. Some other YouTuber friends. So even if something happens, it's already out there. It's out there for the world to see. I'm not one for going quietly.
I doubt that
Hey, it's good to have contingency plans.
as long as we enact contingency plans beforehand, it should probably go off the pitch.
Well, that's part of it though, because I mean, I got a few, not many. If I got
What's
2
the
or 3
saying? Chance
YouTubers,
favors the prepared mind.
yes, my dad told me that a lot, and he some of the weird little
Luck favors preparation.
Yes, my dad. Some of the odd tidbits of info and stuff my parents gave me. I never thought I'd have to use it. I never thought I'd have a life that would require that knowledge. But here we are. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
I never thought I might need to enact emergency caches. Deal with it.
He's like, I don't care.
I didn't.
Fair enough. So yes, do not fret. I will not be alone. We are savage cats.
Yes, there's the stretchy kitty.
Bob loves him so much. Bob's just like climbing up his leg, getting petted. She doesn't do that to me. She climbs up his leg. She knows I'll bend down and pet her. She knows I will. Anyway, Boost, you want to hop up here? Or
He says he's at work, but
oh, did he say he's at work? I missed that part. I'm sorry.
yeah,
My
he's
bad.
at work, but he's, I don't know. He did say anyone's streaming in about 40 minutes.
All right. Well, I'll drop him the link when he wants it.
Yeah, I saw Bush, I saw your message on Gilded, like anyone streaming in 40 minutes. Well, I think Moira and I will still be here.
I'm at work till midnight. Does he live in my time zone?
He's in my time zone.
Or aren't you in Central Time?
Yes, I am.
Okay, then he's gonna be off work in 20 minutes. Well, 22
All right.
minutes for counting. Because, like, I mean, if he's like in the next time zone over, I'd have to recalculate that. But yeah, that means off. Yeah, if you just say I'm off in 20 minutes, then nobody has to care what time zone. 20 minutes is 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I need to light my roots. I forgot about doing that. I slacked off so bad. My mind has been hyper focused. Well, I was about to say, you ever have something that bugs you that you think about it like 50,000 different ways, like all at the same time? You do. We've talked. I'm not putting your shit out there, but I know your mind hyper fixates on things, and I do too. Just because it's different stuff doesn't mean it doesn't drive us crazy. We drive ourselves crazy with shit sometimes.
Yes, I'm hyper focused. I'm also hyper focused on details.
Yes, and so when I start seeing things that aren't right, what's the saying? Once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, 3 times a pattern.
I swear, being hyper focused is a
65,000
curse.
Actually, I'll drop that link for everybody so they can see the thing about the bad voters cards going out. So everybody can check. You're obsessed. I'm dedicated.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
dedicated.
like
I
I
am-
agree that like I like it doesn't. Yes, I'm like there's no obsessiveness here. It's just being dedicated.
Yeah, we're determined and dedicated.
Yes.
Obsessed is just like people are obsessed about Star Wars because it's fun. Dedication and determination there's an end game. There is something to be accomplished.
Right.
There's a puzzle that we have to solve. We can't let it go until we figure out what's wrong with what we're seeing, and that is where I'm at. And this is not to make you sound bad. It is not. But she has a tendency to. If a person's behavior is off, she has a tendency to replay it again and again in her head, trying to figure out putting the pieces together. And I do the same thing. I know she does it because I do it too. And the way she describes it, I know she does what I do. She may have different things that she's worried about, so it's different subject matter, but it's the same method. It's the same, I have to figure this puzzle out. I can't
And
rest until I understand the answers.
yeah, I mean I need
I
to
am the
solve
same way.
I need to solve the puzzle.
I am the same way. I mean, and yours and mine do cross over. Ours do overlap somewhat because when we see someone and their behavior pattern is off, we're like, something's happened. People are a creature of nature. Why is their behavior
Because
pattern?
like someone told me, like, I don't know if I am or not, but someone told me I'm like, you could be an empath. So I'm very
That sounds like some hippie shit. I mean, it's not
well.
impossible.
I don't know if I am or not, but I know
You and I could be neurodivergent. We could be.
I mean,
Those are
I
certain
know
people
people have
neurodivergent.
told me a couple of times that I'm very perceptive of people's emotions / reactions.
I'm not sure about emotions because sometimes people are good at hiding it. Sometimes if I've known like my friend
Well,
Brian,
I'm not
20
saying
years,
I'm not
but
saying
reaction
completely.
to body language. I watch the body language. I watch how their face. Because sometimes people can control what they say, but they can't control their face. And for a split second, you can see how they truly think about something by the way that split second, the way their eye kind of
Mm-hmm.
when they try to do that, how they
Well,
immediately.
I'm not saying it's completely or all the time. I mean, just
Right.
sometimes.
That's fair because sometimes I get a vibe off somebody, and it's got to be like I won't receive much of a vibe per se if the person is benign and they're okay. It means it's not registering anything bad. But there's something very objectionable about this person. There's a decent chance, especially if I might be the subject of the issue, I get a vibe that kind of pushes me up. You ever seen like a scary house and something right here said don't go in?
Yeah,
It's
that
like
feeling.
yeah,
I
it
know what you're
feels like
talking
that.
about.
It feels like that. I'm like there's some that vibe worse. Some vibe like it's like a neon light radiating. And others you just get like a low key one, which is kind of I'm trying to sort it out. So I'm thinking like when I get a low key bad, that it's probably because by themselves they're not bad, but they could be bad if they're in the right company to do so. And so like they're like on yellow threat. They're not a full threat. They're on yellow. But someone who vibes harder and it gets closer to orange or red, I'm like, I don't trust this motherfucker. And it doesn't take me long. All they have to do is say the wrong fucking thing. I'm immediately like on guard and like, I'm watching you.
Mm-hmm.
Because
It's all
they
about.
oftentimes say there's a little bit of truth in jokes.
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, it's all about the tone, the
Tone, inflection, body language.
yes,
Absolutely.
tone, body language, the emotion, the vibe.
Absolutely. And I overly analyze that, which is important because people are clever and they are sneaky. During this election, I got a little swayed for a short bit because I was going to vote for Dom, and then I was like, I don't know, Dr. Grayling here, he seems pretty cool. And then he lost me because he is a medical doctor in the 21st century, and he made a comment about people who smoke weed see pink elephants. Now, and he might have been half joking, but that's the stuff they used to say about people who drank a lot of alcohol. They saw pink elephants. I've drank and I've never seen pink elephants. That is, I know almost everybody in here, half the people that live here are card carrying marijuana holders, and they've never seen pink elephants ever. One of the people has it because they are highly stressed and they have depression. Another one has it because they have a scar on the back of the neck because their neck was broken in a car accident. So everybody here has got a legit reason. My anxiety cannot handle weed. I will have a panic attack.
I'm with you, Mario. I never ever smoke the stuff because I know I have anxiety and I don't want that. I don't want the possibility that to make my anxiety worse.
Yeah. If you
know
ever
what
do
I
want
mean?
to try it out, make sure you have your anxiety medicine handy right next to you, just in case, so you've got your security blanket ready. That's comforting.
Well,
That's why
I
always
take
keep it right next to
the anxiety gummies.
Well, if that works for you, then good. Because I mean, I don't have a
Well, they
problem
don't
with weed,
like the.
but I don't push the idea on it. You know what I'm saying?
The anxiety medication that I have, it keeps me awake, and the gummies don't do that.
See, that's good, and yeah. So yeah, I mean, if someone goes, "Do you think I should try medical marijuana because of this?" I'll be like,
No.
"No." I'll tell them if you think it will help you, sure. Because as long as you don't have any kind of allergy, you should be fine. So
Well,
if they
I would say,
ask my
yeah.
opinion, I will tell them I don't care.
I mean, like, I meant when it comes to me, no. But if you want to, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not interested personally. I could sort of like take it or leave it. I could leave it. I don't even want to take it. I tried it and it just upset my anxiety terribly. I'm like, after about a couple of seconds after that puff hit, I was like, my body thought I was about to get in a fight. My body thought it was fight or flight time. And I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, that was a scary feeling. That was a chill to the stomach. I was like,
so actually, do people actually create um smoothies out of weed to drink?
they make what? Smoothies?
Out of weed? Yeah.
They can. What I would suggest. All right. So all right. There's kind of two kinds of weed. Well all right. There's more to it. Let's break this down.
Okay.
There's hemp plants that are like marijuana plants without the same THC in it, and a lot of
Okay.
times that has more CBD than it would THC. So if you wanted to take something like hemp, that would probably be a better idea. Because if you take something that has THC in it and you run it through the juicer and you drink it, I hope you're prepared to meet Jesus because you're going to think you did. Because when you smoke weed, it goes through the little air sacs and it kind of makes its way through the bloodstream and this and that. But digesting it and going through digestive tracts, through the liver, through this, through that, the chemical reaction is different, and it might be scary, especially if you accidentally use too much. It might be frightening. You can infuse THC into anything. That is correct. If you know how to do it, cold pressing or cold pressing is the best idea. Don't try to cook it into something unless you do it at a low heat, because you can kill off the THC and its effectiveness if you do it. I've studied a few things here and there, even though it's not necessarily my forte. But when you're around people who have grown it and have studied it, you pick up on a thing or 10. And it's good to just pass information on to people. But yeah, so if you wanted the nutrients and the CBD, I mean, I would suggest you look this up to confirm, of course. And it's not illegal to have hemp. It's not. So as long as you knew it was hemp plants that weren't, I mean, you could smoke it, but it's not really advisable, But yeah, the hemp plants would have more THC and not really. It's pretty nondescript THC. Like, it wouldn't be much, and so you could technically juice that, and it would be okay. So, like I said, do Google it and check and look up things like juicing hemp plants, and so yeah, that would probably. That would be the best method. I can point you in the right direction of what to do, and you can from there decide what you think's right for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on a second. You can okay, yeah. LOL. We remember the police officer calling 911 to the operator that he was gonna die, or oh yeah. So yeah, apparently there was a 911 call, and this guy goes, "Me and my wife, I think we're dead," and the woman's like, "I'm sorry, what? We had brownies. I don't know if I can feel myself breathing. I think I'm dead. Please send help." Like, my breathing is weird. My heart rate feels strange. I can't feel my fingers or some shit like that. Because when you eat it, it's a different kind of hit that you might not be ready for. Smoking weed has nothing compared to that. I accidentally ate magic brownies one time. I was staying at a friend's house overnight, and I woke up starving. And much like, you would expect for like young people living in a house together, it's not going to be that impressive in the fridge. So I opened the fridge looking for something to snack on. I hadn't eaten probably in 20 hours. I was hungry. And so I was like, oh, there's some brownies. Nice. And the brownie was this fucking big. That thick. Looked like legitimate normal brownies. And I ate it. And I was like, oh, thank God, some food. And I went back to sleep. And when I woke up, I couldn't speak. I had to try. It's hard to try to move your hands and legs when you can't feel them. So I walked very strangely to the wall, because there was like this half wall here. This is where I was at. And there's a wall over here. And this is like this way where you can go to the front room. And so I leaned up against this wall, and I couldn't speak. So I was trying to get someone's attention. I went and hit the wall. And she woke up. She goes, "Are you okay?" I just slid to the floor. And next thing I know, I'm being taken to the hospital
Dang.
because they didn't know what happened to me, and I couldn't speak. And I tested, and I probably tested impressively high for THC, probably.
Like
But they did-
there's
they did
this
the IV. Huh?
there's this YouTube video of a it's called Smoking Gun TV show. These two teenage boys were at a burger place or fast food place, and they thought it was fun. They thought it was funny to put weed on a cop's burger.
Oh, that is mean and inappropriate. If
Well,
that
they
is not,
did
you
get
do not
busted.
want somebody carrying a gun and driving a car to be under the influence and not know what's happening.
Yeah, the cops on duty got high from their Whopper.
Jesus Christ,
The,
that's a
the
terrible.
two
That's a
teenage
dangerous
boys
thing to
did
do.
get caught. I have to mention.
That's a dangerous thing to do. Ooh, and plus, what if that person has an allergy to that sort of thing? Could kill somebody with that.
Mhm.
That's why I've always against. I mean, we can crack jokes about it, but I've always been against putting something in people's food they don't know what it is. You don't know what it'll do to them. I mean, it can interact with medication that you don't know about because, like, if I did that, their medication's not my business. I have no right to know, and I could be putting them in danger if I did it. No, I wouldn't want someone to do it to me. I don't do it to others, and that includes weed. I mean, yeah, the idea of getting a cop stoned, yeah, haha, that sounds funny. But
Yeah,
you
but-
realize that he's got a gun and a
and he's
car,
on duty.
and oh, that's even worse. And he needs to be sharp for whatever call he gets, and he can't see straight, can't function straight. He's gonna get someone killed or himself killed. That is not funny, and I hope that person. I hate the idea of people being thrown in jail, but my God, I hope he got an ass chewing. I hope he got fired.
Oh yeah, these two teenage boys got caught and they were in court.
Good. I mean, I'm not necessarily a fan of the police, but I mean, even police have a right to, not have food that is tainted, that could get them or someone else killed. Yeah, I lose my sense of humor real quick when shit like that goes down. My idea of a prank is like putting a lemon in someone's tailpipe I don't like. It's an easy fix, but it annoys the fuck out of them. But it's fixable. It's not gonna get anyone killed. All right, my cousin's husband made me some muffins and cookies a few years ago. I brought cookies to share at work on New Year's. I had a big bite of a cookie. My boss sells weed and had a bigger bite. 30-year-old waitress had a nibble. 24-year-old waitress had a cookie. She was unintelligible, laying on a pool table. Sometimes you just gotta lay down where you can. Dosing someone without their knowledge is extremely messed up. I don't care what drug it is. Correct. Absolutely correct, Bushi. I mean, weed, as long as they're not allergic to it, it's probably the least bad you could do. Other ones could be even worse, because if that person has like an undetected heart condition and you put cocaine in there, you could give them a heart attack and kill them. So, like, the odds of you killing somebody with weed, just directly weed, is unlikely. But if they can't...
Someone's calling you.
Let's find out who. Hold on. Oh, it's Chuck. Okay. What up, homie?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay. I was live streaming with some friends on YouTube for a little bit. Some stuff's been bothering me today, and I figured I'd hang out with some friends and talk about it.
Is everything cool? How you feeling?
I don't know if everything. Are you asking how I feel about the loss? I'm actually pretty okay with it. I had prepared for that. I was mentally okay with that because I knew if there's corruption, the fight doesn't end June 28th. I already told you that. And if I didn't find anything wrong, then I would have just sulked about it and been fine. But I found things that are wrong. And I have proof of it. There's a lot of people who didn't vote, and it looks like they're processing their vote in the voters portal.
No way.
I have proof of it.
Whoa.
I have proof. People have sent me pictures. And they swear. And they sent me on their Facebook, so their fucking first and last name is attached to them swearing upon this.
Hey, nobody.
vote?
Some were 2 people were quarantining. One had a broken leg. Another person had recovered from surgery and was still kind of off from the anesthesia. 3 or 4 people forgot because they were at work. One trucker was out of town. You name it, there was something. But the point is, they didn't vote, and they are not happy with what they're seeing. Because I instructed all of them to go to the voters portal. Most of these people didn't know that existed, and actually before this year, I didn't fucking know it existed either, to be honest. And so I told them, all right, put in your name, put in your birth date, and then it'll show you. And it censors out who or how you voted. That's a big problem for me. And trying to audit that is hard. So when they were trying to audit votes, that was difficult. I think they forgot to think of, and I just had a wild hair to check it, is check the people who didn't vote. So because the GOP screwed over the Republicans by not accepting independent votes, and my boyfriend last year signed up to be independent, he couldn't vote for me. So he didn't vote because he's like, well, I'm not fucking voting for anyone else then. But it shows that his data is processing. And I know that another person I know who didn't vote, I typed in his information. It said his vote is processing. About 7 or 8 people came forward and said they did not vote, but there does not show any vote. It does not show anything processing. That is how it should look. Because if you didn't vote, what the fuck is it going to process?
So is everybody just processing, or like, so if you don't vote, like, what is it supposed to look like?
There shouldn't be anything to process. It should. A few people said, I checked. I didn't vote. I checked, and it says nothing is processing. There's about 8 of them. But there's about 100 people who didn't vote, and they are pissed. And people who did vote are scared that their vote may not be legitimate. Now,
I don't know.
You remember when I complained that over 60,000 illegitimate voter cards got sent out? What do you think the odds are that they actually cleaned up those rolls at all? Yeah, well, our state government's not very effective or efficient. So they might have very well just left those names on the rolls. So if someone goes to audit, they'll say, oh, I see the book. This person says they're registered. But are they really going to go knock from door to door to ask? That's why they can get away with it. So the fact that some of the people didn't vote may be what helps saves this. Because if they didn't vote and they swear and they're willing to swear in front of a magistrate or whatever, they did not vote, but it shows that their vote is being counted, that right there is a sign of a crime. Well, think about this. Somebody who was talking about this issue, that recounting the votes is expensive and sometimes useless, because he explained if there is money in the register, you can count it 100 times and come up with the same number. But it doesn't do you any good if the bills are counterfeit. He had a good point there. That made sense, which probably explains why Arizona and everybody else was doing such a shit show of recounting, because they were counting what was there. They weren't looking at what shouldn't have been there. So, and sometimes it's not what's there, it's what's not there that will give it away.
I'll tell you what, I wish you good luck, and keep me posted. I'm going to log on to a couple other things to do, but I just want to chime in to say hi.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to say you ran a great campaign.
Aw.
I voted for you, and I think it's an awesome job.
I appreciate you. Yeah. I was surprised. I'm surprised that over 12,000 people actually would either A, trusted me not to fuck up, or B, at least thought I wasn't as bad as those guys. And I appreciate them for it. Thank you.
No, absolutely, man. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. 12K, man. That's a lot of people, you know?
That's more than I thought. I was so afraid I wouldn't make it over 1,000. I was like, please, God, let it not be that embarrassing. Please, no. Like, I was okay with losing. I just don't want to lose. I don't want to lose really bad. I at least want to do good for a newcomer. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't want to lose terribly. And considering this may not, and some people are worried that one or two naysayers said, are you doing this because you think you might win? I'm like, dude, I'm so far behind, there's no chance. This is about finding the corruption and fixing it. That's what this is about. That's what it was always about.
Yeah, just keep fighting for your passion.
I am.
What you're passionate about and the issues that matter.
Well, this should matter to everyone.
We'll need you in the political committee, absolutely. And
Are you inviting me into a political committee? Aw.
We gotta create one right now.
Aw. I don't know how to. I have a hard time trusting anybody. I'm pretty much am the committee at this point. Although I do trust you. Maybe Liberty. Maybe I can join Liberty Patrol
There you go,
and
Rob.
send y'all information and talk to y'all. Like, 'cause I trust you.
Thank you.
I might try to send you a message later because like I'm sharing this camera and mic with my live stream. I don't know if they can hear you, but they can hear me. So I talked to somebody who's still in office who doesn't necessarily want to look like he betrayed the governor, but he gave me the green light to go for it. And he said he thinks that the deadline to contest the election is tomorrow at noon. And he said, get there as fast as you can to do it. So that sounds like a green light to me. So I told him what I found, and he says it sounds like a reason to worry. You would flip if I told you who. But you don't get to say it because I don't know everybody else can hear you, and I don't want him in trouble.
Mario, I can hear him through the speaker.
Oh, okay, they can hear you through the speaker. Huh? They can hear you through the speaker. They can't see you, but they can hear you. He says, hey, everybody.
Hey.
And Raquel says hi.
Well, thanks. Well, enjoy your evening, guys. Cheers. I'm glad I could pop in and say hi.
Yeah, if you want to drop and say a like, my channel is Mora Kitty. If you want to just drop in and say hi.
All right. I'll do that. Thanks.
And that way we can,
Good night.
and I'll try to make you a moderator, and then you can drop like your YouTube channel. Or does Liberty Patrol have a YouTube channel?
No, we don't have one yet, but I'll have to establish.
Yes, sir, you will.
I'll be right back. I'm going to get some ice cream.
All right, lots of hugs. Oh, there's my keyboard. All right, sorry, I didn't want to miss him. He's pretty cool. He got so tired of the shit libertarians were doing. At least this go around. I think. Hold on. Oh man, this person writes a lot when they write. Shit.
I'll be right back. I'm going to get some ice cream.
Okay. Actually, I think you're right about the algorithms. I talked to somebody from Red River TV the other day, and he said that part of it is used with algorithms. And I was like, can't algorithms be programmed to do whatever you want them to do? And he said yes. So you are correct on that. Sorry, I had to voice text somebody on that one. It's just quicker than writing it. And honestly, I got shit. All right, so apparently I got someone else's attention. Because this particular lady has orchestrated quite a few politicians or candidates coming and talking at this church. And I now have her attention because she's like, wait a minute, does that mean that possibly so-and-so might not have won because he didn't even bother to debate? I'm like, at this point, every election seat is compromised, in my opinion, until something is proven different. Because if they can fuck with one, they can fuck with others. And so that is where I'm at on that. Pretty much almost everybody's guilty. And I just received another. Not to put everybody's business out there. Oh, I forgot to do something about that. All right, somebody take care of that real quick. Get rid of those, and I'll go fix my settings so those things can't happen again. I forgot to do the, I forgot about the making it to where only subscribers can speak. My bad on that. I forgot. My head's been in another place today. It really has. Customization. Okay, I'm trying to customize it as being a dick. Sorry. All right, held it. All right, subscribers only. They have to be subscribed for at least 5 minutes. I'll make it 1 minute, although I doubt that will be it.
Oh, we have porn bot in the chat.
Don't worry, it's getting neutralized now. And I just fixed my settings so it should not happen again. I forgot to do my setting where only subscribers can speak. I forgot to do that. So yeah, that'll be gone. Don't worry.
Mm.
Yeah. It says I'll block user. An error occurred. Well, fuck you too then. Anyway, I was going to share the screen. What was I going to share the screen about? Oh, yes. So to give you an example of what I've been dealing with, imagine this being dozens and dozens of people, because there's like 100 or so on my TikTok, but about a dozen have been sending them to my thing. So here we go. We got Mr. Jared right here. He did not vote, but it says that his vote is processing. So that's another one. That's why I've been telling them to send it pretty much to my Facebook, because that way I can have an act. Because a lot of times people use their username on TikTok, and that's not your legal name. So I needed their legal name attached to them swearing that they did not vote, and their evidence proving that there's something wrong on their end that they're seeing. And so that will help give credence to what we're saying. Because again, I was always okay. Hey, Cronus. Hey,
Cronus,
I
wait a minute. Where have you been?
We've missed you. Cronus, you're going to have to rewind a lot of this. But basically, I think I uncovered voter fraud. I can prove there's something wrong with the system. I've got a bunch of people coming forward telling me and sending me pictures showing me that their shit is showing that their vote is being processed when they didn't vote. And so I might be able to figure out what went wrong, because most of the times when they do voter counts, they're voting the votes that are there. They're not checking necessarily to see if the registered voter never showed at all. I think they missed that. That's the only other explanation. Because so many people are absolutely red-faced pissed off that Stitt won. And yet it looked like he did it by an absolute landslide. Suspicious. And so, yes. So, yeah, you'll have to rewind probably about an hour of this. I actually even, like 40 minutes of it. Somewhere around there. Actually, around the 40-minute mark. We're at hour 40 minutes. So, you're like somewhere around the hour mark. Yeah, 40 minutes ago, we were talking about Slasher and stuff. So, you can just skim around till you find the good stuff. But you'll get caught up on what's happening.
Cheapest sex dating. Cheap.
Yeah.
That sounds like I'm going to get some kind of disease.
Probably a computer virus.
And that too.
I remember back in the day, LimeWire gave your computer AIDS. Straight up. But we wanted that free music, yo. Man, I start rashing. I'm just stress smoking today, man.
Hey, Fed, the system is broken. All of the social contracts too. We're all just waiting out the clock until go time.
Well, I'm not sure when go time is, but right now
we're just waiting out the clock until go time.
Well, I am doing my best to fight the corruption. Because now I know where it's. I have it somewhat centrally located where it's coming from. It's going to be somewhere between. All right, so we got, let's say, the election board here, and we got the governor here. Somewhere in this little area is the main concentration. It doesn't mean that outside influences aren't throwing money in to help, but for right now, I can basically centralize generally where this is coming from, and it gives us somewhere to look and somewhere to start, and that's something. And plus, I have screenshots and people swearing that they did not vote. And some people have a good alibi. There's one person has a broken leg, one person who was in the hospital for surgery, one person was out of town. Actually, two people were out of town. One was a trucker out of town. Two people were quarantined together. All of them can prove that they were not at the voting polls. Corruption and government in the same sentence? No way. Right, Cronus? I knew it was coming, though. If you check my TikTok and go back to May, like the middle of May, I warned people this was a possibility because of those cards. Because what else could those cards be used for? Because that's a huge mistake. Why are you sending cards to somebody who is now out of prison from spending time as a felon. And he did not register vote, and he received 2 cards. And these are the people who found me and came forward. What about the ones who didn't? What about the ones who just threw them away and didn't know to tell somebody? That could be thousands more. So it's easy that if someone didn't contest it, they could use it, because the person's not going to know to vote, or they're not going to know to check. And a lot of people didn't know there was a voter portal to check. So it would have gone right under the radar, and people wouldn't have known to look. One lady said that she saw that she had an absentee ballot from 2018, which I believe is when Stitt was originally elected, by the way. A little odd. But she said, she's like, that says I did that, but I didn't. So there's a bunch of people who are fluffing pissed.
Didn't you tell me the other night that someone told you that their father voted, but they've been dead since?
No. The lady received an email from a group called voter.org, and they sent the email going, checking up, hey, did you vote in the election? To her dad, who died in 1996. He did not receive a ballot that we are aware of, but I probably should have encouraged her to type. Actually, I did tell her, type in her dad's information, his birthday, and see if it said that he voted. I don't know if she wrote me back on that or not. I think if I probably came to nothing, or she didn't see it, because if it said that her dead dad had voted, I'm pretty sure she would have said something. So she either didn't check, or nothing came of it. Because I'm trying to figure out who's getting this. So whose names does voter.org have to ask such a question for somebody who's been gone long enough that someone born then can drink now? I mean, if someone died a year or 2 ago, I could see that could be a mistake. They were accidentally left on the rolls. That's possible. But 1996? Are you fucking shitting me? Something is suspicious. A lot of people were like, I voted, but my brother-in-law didn't. And I checked, and his status is the same as mine. It says that, it looks like he's processing his vote. People are flipping off, just flipping out. They're probably flipping off as well. And the point is, like, if there is an issue, if there's an algorithm issue, if there is something that's going on that shouldn't, it needs to be brought to attention. If I'm wrong, then you need to explain how the system works to everybody so they understand. And that's fine. But if I think something's wrong, I can't be quiet over it. It ain't right. How can I can't, I will not be keeping my promise if I didn't fight this. I know I'm not going to win. As far as the governorship, I'm not going to win. But I will prove to people I kept my promise to them the best I could. And that's what it's supposed to be about. Everybody else was so busy campaigning and getting photo ops and grabbing that money. They didn't think about how good. They talked such a good game, man. They were like, God sent me to do this, which in an article I was quoted saying, well, if that's true and they lose, it's going to be awkward. It's awkward. It's awkward for a lot of people. There was this huge grift of Republicans. Help me, it's my party. But they called themselves the Freedom Ticket. And remember, I was going on about how all these people were endorsed by General Flynn? As far as I know, of every single one of them fucking lost. And oddly enough, it's people I even didn't speak to or were kind of dicks to me, except for Dr. Grellner. Grellner was kind of cool to me. But again, I can't take a doctor seriously if he thinks that people who smoke weed will see pink elephants. He lost my vote right there. And I was originally going to vote for Senator Dom. And then I rethought it, and I'm like, no, I'm going back to Senator Dom. He's not crazy like that. Never mind. So I voted for him. Poor guy didn't win. He was going for U.S. Senate. So I assume we were going to keep him as a state senator. But at least I know where to find him. He's on the 5th floor. I can go knock on his office. Although today I tried, and I think for right now, right after the election, people are back to their districts doing work for right now. So I asked the assistant to please pass the message on and give them the general idea of the time sensitivity of the situation without going into too much detail. I'm afraid if I go into too much without being able to prove it, it looks crazy. Because I know it sounds like a huge thing, and it unfortunately is. Dogs and cats voting together with the dead, mass hysteria. Corona, see too much. Too much. I feel like looking up other people. I looked up my parents. Oh man, I think I would have burnt the building down. But no, there's nothing that shows that they're registered. I would have been exceptionally offended if they had put down that my parents voted. My dad passed away in 2009 and I lost my mother in 2012. I would have been highly offended.
Hey, Jedi Bill.
Hey, Jedi Bill. Hey, how are you? If I had to guess, fourth quarter of the global commodities exchange, that collapse is going to be biblical. True story. Things will escalate fast during that. Figure September-ish. Oh man, my birthday's at the end of September. Great. I want to have celebrate my birthday with some barely scraped together half-ass pan birthday cake on a kettle over an open fire. Actually, that doesn't sound bad. Let me be honest. Actually, I might be all right with that. Hopefully, we have a very mild winter because, man, remember it was January before it got really bad. Like we had November, December was pretty decent. I mean, January hit everybody like a ton of bricks, but what can you do? But yeah, we had a relatively short winter, so hopefully, if that happens, at least the weather will hopefully be decent and people won't be freeze to death or suffer.
I wish my birthday was in the summer, but no such luck.
Is it December?
No, in January.
Oh, January. I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. We were talking about because I was comparing my parents' birthday with yours. Of course, you're the 11th.
No, I'm on the 20th.
You're the 20th. You were close to my dad's birthday. That's right. I remember that my dad's the 21st. I knew that you were close to one of my parents' birthdays. I just could not remember. I'm sorry. My bad. There's been so much going on in here. It's like someone put a bunch of files into a blender and just hit mush.
Mush.
You ever just concentrate or study really hard, like for 2 or 3 days, and your brain felt fried?
Yeah.
That's what this is feeling like right now. So, yeah. So if I forget your birthday, please.
Ice bath. Ooh, that is cold.
Oh, that's got chutzpah. Oof, I ain't brave enough. Right now, our water heater's out, so I just heat water on the stove.
Your water heater's out? Oh man.
Yeah, we can't afford to fix it. We think it's a thermal coupling, but we can't afford to fix it. So Chris goes next door to shower. I feel weird showering at other people's houses, so I get this stock pot, those large pans like this, and I put like that much hot water in it, and heat it up, bring it into the bathtub, and put some cold water in it so it's not gonna burn the shit off me. And I just get the sponge and some soap and just start scrubbing the crap out of myself, and then I dump it on myself to rinse. It works.
I really want to go outside in the hot tub right now.
You got a hot tub, you fancy bitch. Look at you. Right? Fancy. Nice.
It's nice. You can look out,
No, I'm happy
hot
for you.
tub.
I'll just be silly.
I know.
Hot tubs look fun, but the maintenance and the cost, I just could never see my way clear to get one. But if someone's happy with it, I'm happy for them.
It's nice. You're in the
You
in the
watch
hot tub, and
It's
you're
like I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
how does it? Oh, I
I
haven't.
scrub that bag. Yeah.
You mean the hot
Oh,
tub
that's
time
right.
machine? I haven't seen that movie.
Oh wait. Wow. Does it time travel?
The hot tub time machine.
Okay. It's a dumb movie, but you go in knowing it's dumb, so it's okay. It's movies that are dumb but take themselves seriously. They're the worst.
Yeah, it's nice in the hot tub. You're outside. It's really nice. Hey, Sakarat. You forgot the most of that movie.
There wasn't a lot to remember, to be fair. It was not any of their best movie. It really wasn't. Something's making me itch. Do I have a flea up here or something? My elbow's going
I mean, if you go back in time in the hot tub, you think that at some point the hot tub is not going to even be there.
Well, there was a limit how far back they could go.
Yeah.
So the hot tub still had some sort of a hot tub had to still be there.
Right.
Yeah, you're right though. I mean, if they went back to the 1950s, they probably wouldn't be. I mean, they would have no portal to come out of.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, unless there's something mysterious about that area, and maybe the lake would have that power too, because maybe it's that general nexus or something. Maybe that would be maybe possible. Hey, oh my God, Broke Country. Oh, I know him from TikTok. He is lovely Texan.
Hello.
Lovely man.
I'm a
My
Texan
God.
too.
Yes, my darling friend here is also in Texas. How are you doing, Broke Country? Man, you missed quite a bit. I hate being redundant, I must admit, although sometimes I can't help myself. So, I did better in the election than I thought I would. I still lost, which I figured, but I was mentally and emotionally prepared for it, so it was okay. Hey, Isaac. But I think I found signs of voter fraud, and I am going to take the screenshots and some of the evidence I have and go to the Capitol tomorrow and contest the results and see if that will buy us some time, because like I do want to see like when it's finished processing what it says, but I figured it's important to get these pictures now, so it's like this before and after, and try to figure it out. Coming back from COVID. Ooh, I'm so sorry. I hope you're feeling all right. I'm glad you're coming back from it, darling. I'm glad to have you here.
Feel better.
Indeed. Eat some chamomile tea. There was a TikTok where someone goes, hey, I have a plant growing by accident. And it's chamomile. And he goes, I got this plant. It's chamomile. Which I had never thought of looking at the words. My mom would show me, oh, this is chamomile. So I never had to sound it out. I can never look at it the same way again now. What did it say? Oh, so what happened was, all right, so a lot of times when they audit votes, they try to audit the people who voted and see if the votes are legitimate somehow. I'm not sure how that process works. But what they did, and what I actually suspected they were going to do, is they were going to take the names of people who did not check in to vote and cast a vote in their name. And I think they did it. And a lot of people are freaking out because they're coming forward going, yeah, I didn't vote. Yeah, something held them up. They weren't able to. And hey, HRG, how are you, darling? And so, yeah, it's a whole thing going on right now. I mean, I was wanting to wait a little longer and let it see if it finishes processing and find out. Like our last, this is slightly different. A lot of that was ballot harvesting. This is a little different. It's a little more low key. A lot of people are looking for what is there. They're not necessarily looking for what isn't there per se. So, and most people didn't know they had a voters portal. And if you don't go vote, you don't usually think to check your own portal. So it could go right underneath the radar and nobody even know. And I'm doing my best to fix that because I'm letting people, because as I'm doing this, I am telling them to check their portal. So now they know that there's a portal they can check. So I'm informing people, letting them know what they can do. A lot of people, I told them to post it and tag me on Facebook because I want this a public situation. Apparently they took that as send that to me in the DMs. Conspiracy theory. You do realize that was a term that was coined by the CIA to make people who think outside the box look like they're crazy, right? But I can assure you, my dear, there is a lot of people who are upset right now and want answers. Lots of answers. Let's see. It would scroll. Oop, that was the wrong thing. Here we go. We just scroll and scroll. That's just on one video. That's just on one video on one account. I have that many comments. It's not a theory. It doesn't look like much of a theory. I'm not sure if you remember, Maura, but my old username was something censored Redguard. I remember the name Redguard, and I think it was something I wouldn't call you, so I just called you Redguard. So yeah, I don't remember what the H was, and it's probably okay. Okay, I think I got like cats have left wings or something. I'm trying to.
Oh, Bush says Bush incoming, says Boosh.
Oh, okay. Let me get my shit together. Yeah, something is making my elbow itch. Like I think maybe a mosquito got in here or something. Because it is driving me fucking nuts. Turn my flashlight before I blind the shit out of everybody.
Red guards are erased in ESO. I did not know that. I'm probably going to play some more ESO later on today.
So yeah, my video asking people to come forward has 1,909 views, 184 likes, and all right. So like I said, half the comments, like let's say half the comments are mine because I responded to them. There is well over 100 people who are pissed over here. Cat attack. Why did I... Red guards are... Oh, okay, got it. Ticks are evil. Confirmed. Ticks are evil. I hate those little bugs. But no, this is not a tick. I think a mosquito got me. It itches a lot right here, but like there's nothing here. So I'm assuming it flew away after it probably gave me malaria. But yeah, people are freaking out. People are like, yeah, they just don't understand like how these results could be. They're like, everybody hated him. How did he win so largely? And if there is approximately 70,000 votes out there that were used incorrectly, that could easily give somebody a huge advantage. And somebody goes, well, the polls were reading. I was like, I'll tell you about the fucking polls. One of the surveys or polls going around from Stitt's office didn't even mention my name on it because he didn't want anyone to know my name. He gave them a small selection of people and let them choose from that. So obviously, and one of the people on TikTok received one of these polls, and he alerted me that had happened. So I took a picture of it, tagged him on Twitter. I'm like, hey, Stitt, why'd you leave my name off the poll? You can't possibly be worried about a small-time girl like me, right? He didn't respond because he's a coward. Anyway, oh yeah, I'll call people out publicly. I'm an asshole. And then there was apparently another poll before the election happened, and it said that they estimated that I would get 1.3%, and which apparently I did better. I ended up with like 3.14%. So I actually did better than the poll thought I would, but they had only asked 360 people. So it wasn't, there's a limit. I mean, you can get a general idea, but it doesn't give you the full picture because it depends on what area you asked. If you go up to Edmond or where some of the rich people are, of course they're going to pick Stitt over anyone, as long as he's doing deals with them. Oh, I gotta put this on the charge. Let me see. Let me go check my other account real quick, see what's going on over there, because people, I pretty much did a similar video over there asking them to come forward as well. So I got a few messages. Someone sent me a thank you. Why did they send me a thank you? Shit. Oh, okay. She was confirming that she did not vote, but her account looks normal. It's not being weird. I'm like, then you're good to go. She said she didn't know how to do it, so she sent me her name and birthday so I could check for her. And I'm like, you're good. It's not showing anything pending. So, like I said, there's like 8 or so that are the way they're supposed to look. But for most of the others, it's not. And I'm like, oh, that's a lot of fucking people. Somebody was mentioning me trying to bring like 100 people to court to testify. I'm like, I'm pretty sure a written and notarized affidavit would probably be appropriate, including a screenshot of their message and the picture of it. I'm sure that would at least be enough. Oh, someone duetted me. Oh, okay. I saw her eye roll emoji. I thought she was picking on me. But it says, she wrote, my husband was sick yesterday and didn't vote. and his is processing. So she made a video of me. At first I saw the emoji. I thought she was rolling her eyes at me, and I'm like, I'm trying to do the right thing. I've only had a couple of naysayers come at me. One told me I was idiotic, and the other one told me I remind them of the Tiger King. So far, everybody else has been cool. I'd say that's a decent percentage. I have a text. I don't recognize this number. Do I know this person? Dr. Kush has sent me something to download. Shit. I slipped and said the name. Fuck. We'll have to cut that out. Oh, she's finally actually telling me who she is. She doesn't seem to realize. Governor Stitt endorsed her. I did a fundraiser for O'Connor, and I believe should have won. I've been in practice as an optometrist in Norman for 23 years. After my election in February of 2022, I was also concerned with the election integrity, but I didn't do anything because no one would listen or help me. I know that feeling. Let's see. The election laws in Oklahoma won't let you question your own election unless you post $5,000 bond and open yourself up to hundreds of thousands of dollars in litigation expenses. But that's for a recount, not necessarily an audit. If you have any questions on election board, all right. If you have any questions, any of the election boards at the county, state level. What she doesn't realize is I already Googled her and knew that she was endorsed by, or it was a support of Trump. And I knew that since Trump endorsed Stitt, there was a chance that she would also follow Stitt. I already said that. I was correct. She just came clean with that. So, people don't know that I do research. Surprise, motherfuckers. After our last message, I decided to Google you, so I did realize who you were and that you were an optometrist, which is why I was surprised when you made the comment about a bachelor pad. LOL. Full stop. And since Trump endorsed our current governor, I had a feeling that you would also be in favor of keeping the current governor. But if there's a chance he cheated, he is not worth keeping.
Bush is asking for the link.
Okay.
All right, I'll send it to him.
Cheating, then the whole election is in question. At least you came clean about it. But yeah, apparently Governor Stitt endorsed her when she ran. So why would she want him gone? Told you that was a possibility, did I not? Who called that shit? Who's the untrusting bitch? It's me. Who's the untrusting one? It's me. Knew it. I do appreciate her coming clean and being honest about it. There's a lot of shit at play here. The bushy bush, the bushy bush. It's a bushy bush.
Bushy.
Bushy.
Motherfucker to me today.
Circle. Loading. Loading. There you go.
Technically bloating and unloading.
Am I still loading?
Nope, I can hear you.
sorry,
I can see you.
me.
Oh.
I meant me. Sorry.
Oh. So, customer came. He's a regular guy. I see him all the time. He gets a couple of Black and Mild packs. We have an amazing deal on them. And he's like, and I guess, you know what? He goes, fuck it. Like, just give me the rest of this on pump 15. He's like, and you know, I'm processing it. He's like, fucking sick of this shit, man. These gas prices. You know, people are like, oh, it's going down. It's like it's going down 6 cents, idiot. Like, it ain't helping no one. 6 cents ain't helping no one until it gets down to like under $3. No one's getting help by this. And I went, yeah, I know, man. People are getting really sick of this. And he's like, I ain't getting sick of this. I'm getting sick of that motherfucker Biden. And I went, oh, what is this is that Vandermeer Poohin guy. It's not me. And he went, oh shit. And he started laughing and he said, you motherfucker. It was a much better impression of Biden, actually. That one wasn't so good. But in the moment, it was a good impression. I'm not pushing for third party. What I'm saying is a lot of people nowadays, they're hard. Ooh. Missed the rest of that. I don't see that comment at all.
You know, someone told me
Is that in chat or what? I don't see that.
what?
I don't see those comments that Moira is highlighting.
Mm.
Oh.
You don't see that?
I see the comments you're highlighting. I don't see where you're highlighting from. I don't see them in the chat.
Oh, that is strange. Are you maybe in the private chat and not in the main
No,
chat?
up there they are. No, I was watching on YouTube. The chat just froze, I guess.
Okay, yeah, it was a wee bit of a delay, I suppose,
Yeah.
but it's all right.
Well, can you re-highlight HRG last comment?
I think people need to be
Yes, I was
more
pointing at
open-minded
that
and
and agreeing.
respectful, remaining more central.
Yeah, I think we need to get back to celerity or
Okay.
celerity.
Central.
Civility?
No, civility or something like that. Yeah.
Celerity?
Civility is to be decent to each other. Finding our similarities or common ground would be probably closer. To
No,
what you're saying.
civil.
Are you saying celerity? Because that means quick or fast. Civil liberties?
Civil liberty? Like
Civility.
civility. Yes.
I already said that.
Civilized. To be
I
civilized.
already said that.
To be civilized.
Okay,
yes.
so HRG,
Yeah.
I have not met anyone that's far right in decades. Probably Clinton era. I knew some people that were hardcore right, like very, very far right.
Yeah, we still got them.
I've lived in 2 different major cities since then. I've been to many different colleges throughout Florida and Georgia and North Carolina and the DC area. I've worked in lots of different kinds of jobs. I've worked in customer service and met, God, it sounds like it's crazy, but literally tens of thousands of people. I have not met anyone hard right in a long time. So this idea that people need to be more centrist is the right has been continuing to move more and more central, and the left keeps moving more and more left. I have met so many hardcore left people. I talk to them on they comment insane crap on Twitter with me. My aunt at one point was a hardcore Reaganite, but she was nowhere near like far right. Like I knew people that were, my friend Matt's dad. Last time I talked to him, I think was like 2000. He was far right, really far right. Yeah, I can't think of off the top of my head. Oh, one of my aunt's friends. He's pretty far right. But they consider him far right. Like he's not alt-right crazy Republican though. He just really, really hates Democrats and is extremely fiscally conservative and is extremely socially conservative. People in Texas are actually nicer, believe it or not. The drivers are worse. The drivers are worse, hands down, in Texas than anywhere else I've been. I've been in Michigan, lived there for a while. I lived up north in the Northeast for almost 7 years. I've driven in Boston, New York. Atlanta's pretty bad. Miami's pretty bad. Tampa's nowhere near as bad. But Orlando, they drive crazy fast. Connecticut's really awful. Jesse will tell you that. Those drivers are just batshit crazy. They
How
go
so?
super fast. They go extremely fast. They don't use signals, and they love to buzz people. I don't know if you know what that is.
You mean their horns?
You know what buzzing? No. So if you're in the right-hand lane and you're going, let's say 5 miles over the speed limit, let's call it 10, they will come flying up on your ass and get right up on your bumper and then pull straight around you as close as they can and then cut you off and floor it.
Oh, okay.
That's called buzzing. I had not seen that up north too much. It happened in the city. Well, it happened in the city because it kind of had to. It's just city driving. People aren't going to let you over. So they kind of do a swoop and stop, but not really. Here in Texas, let's say it happens in Dallas a lot. It happens in Houston a lot. Not really other places that I've noticed, but in and around major cities in Texas, it happens. Galveston happens in Galveston. So a swoop and stop is you're in the right-hand lane and there's a person in the left-hand lane and they want to get over into the right-hand lane to either exit or to make a turn. Instead of reducing speed to get behind you, they will speed up and then jump in front of you and slam on their brakes to make the turn. That's the swoop and stop. And that causes a lot of accidents.
Hmm. Yeah, like, Texas drivers, if it's like, let's say there's bad weather, they're not really good driving with that.
That is correct. And down around Galveston and Houston, we have very, very rainy months. And if it rains for like 15 minutes, even not even a hard rain, if it just, a good solid rain for 15 minutes, not like crazy thunder and lightning, not wind, just rain, people grind to a halt. So what I've noticed, because I used to take the highway every day, 25-mile drive to and from work, or to work, and then 25 miles back home from that. And that was fine because, gasoline was $1.50 a gallon. So it was actually cheaper than my trip now, which is 14 miles round trip. I'm spending less on gas driving 50 miles a day, which is that's not fair, man. That's not cool. Anyway, so what is your definition of far right? Militant.
This is why I don't drive.
People that are unable to listen to any other perspective but their own. They do not have the ability to engage in debate. They do not have the ability to accept any information that they haven't been told by their own mind or whatever craziness they listen to. And the far left is the media. Like the far left, they control the narrative. They just lie about everything, and it's very sickening. And I'm watching it. People that used to be left wing, not like far left or centrist or whatever, people that vote Democrat are sick of this, and they're very rapidly realizing that. I had this dude come in, and he said, "It's scary, but Trump was right about all this crap." Like he was one of the ones that was making fun. I talk to him every now and then. He comes in late at night. It was not crowded. And he's like, Trump was one of those ones who's like, this is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to do. And everyone went, no, Trump's crazy. That's not going to happen. Well, it's happening. It doesn't take much. That's the far left. That's what they do. They control the narrative and they just lie to everybody about everything. It's not. Oh, it's not me. It's not Biden. It's Vladimir Putin, this fella. Anyone that doesn't know that is just either really, really, really stupid or just doesn't care. And if they don't care, that abject kind of insouciance is damaging to the rest of us.
Have you heard about the gas strike going on the 3rd to the 5th? No?
Well, it's not just Biden. I mean, Well, no, Trump was a boorish jerk, but there's no denying that. But when he was thinking about this as a business, and it is. The difference is he didn't need the money. Like all the things that he did just help save Americans money. They increased average income among the middle class by $5,000 per person. Like that has not happened. It took this is based on just general inflation for the past 2 presidents, each with 2 terms, to get even close to 5,000. He did it in 3 years. That's kind of crazy. And it refilled our reserves, which immediately got sold off again. And we're still producing just as much, or not just as much, but almost as much. And all of these, was it 9,900 leases that were canceled by the Fed, put a pretty big dent in it. But what put a larger dent in our gas prices was we started immediately buying from other nations. And why? We have our own. What's happening to our own is, oh, you're going to open up the reserves. I think it was 80% of our reserves are already gone in 1 year. Like, yeah, green energy is awesome, except for it doesn't work. I'm living proof of that. So winter 2021, it froze here. We had 22 power plants in Texas that were shut down by executive order, not by Trump, from the previous guy. And they were supposed to be shut down by 2020, like that was executive order. And there wasn't even transition. There wasn't even, okay, we're going to stop using this material. We're going to stop doing, specifically coal burning. We're going to use coal fired, and then, other materials. Then they replaced those with quote unquote wind turbines. Wind turbines in their lifetime, cost more and will never produce the amount of energy it costs to produce that windmill. That is the dumbest situation. And people go, oh, but it's wind energy. The largest wind farm on the planet is outside, I think Los Angeles. I'm pretty sure it's Los Angeles, outside Los Angeles. And it has enough power to generate wattage for the computers at the local ExxonMobil plant. And that's who owns that wind farm, is ExxonMobil. If you want to hear the greatest irony of green energy, is that right there. The most powerful wind farm is owned by ExxonMobil, and the only thing they use it for is their computers. Like they don't work. Even Trump said they didn't work. It's like, and then he said lots of things about why they don't work, and then one of the things he said was, well, the wind doesn't always blow hard enough to get them going, and that one thing is the only thing the media mentioned. Is they went, oh, he doesn't think the wind blows, ha 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 ha, and they just went over and over and over about it. Well, yeah, the bird thing, I don't really believe that too much. It's possible, but those windmills don't spin fast. Again, they just don't generate enough energy. Yeah, HRG, that's exactly the problem we had, was they just used executive order and said, okay, no more power plants in Texas. We're just going to wipe out 22 of them. And they did. It took 4 years to do it, but they're all closed, and millions and millions of Texans lost power when it froze. And they're going, well, you deserve it because you voted Republican. It's like, okay, that's the far left. If you want to know what the far left is, know people. Old people died because the nursing home generators could not keep up with the output, and they shut down the power plant that actually helped that nursing home, and people died. And the far left is going, good, I'm glad they're dead. It's terrible. My mother was out of power. I came over, and the water pipes were frozen, and I went outside. She still had gas, but the electricity sparker wasn't working, but I was smoking, so I'm like, I have a lighter, so we're good. And we melted snow water so we could flush the toilets. Meanwhile, Marina Sirtis from Star Trek, who played Deanna Troi, was like, "You all deserve what you're getting." Like, what if the shoe's on the other foot? Like, California has been a shithole with the worst crime, rolling blackouts, and people dying of heat stroke for about 20 years. Is that because they voted for Democrat, Marina? Because, yeah, I guess we could go there. Much worse shape. It's a failed state. Oh, Gracie, come on now. Shush, 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 shush. Okay, she's behaving. That was a good little bit of a rant.
Mhm.
No, the elitists don't care about us. They do not. What they say and what they do are two completely different things. Like, what is it? What was the one that John Lennon? Oh God, Imagine. Oh God, I love that one. It's so good. They're like, we're all in this together. We're all in this together, and then they're spinning around in their yard, showing their pool and their tennis court and their 50-room mansion behind them, saying, "We're all in this together." I'm like, bitch, like your closet is bigger than my mom's house. Shut up. Yeah, HRG. A lot of people died. It was it's pretty shitty. It's like these just regular people. Yeah, they're living their lives or trying to, and someone high up in the government decided, you don't get energy anymore. We're going to take that away from you. We're going to give you this other thing. And oh, by the way, my personal finances invested in the company that produces this, but don't tell anybody. And my personal wealth is going to increase by like $8 million. It's not a big deal, but we're going to shut down the company that I'm not invested in. We're going to shut down that company because I mean, it's not that I don't have any investments in it. It's because it's an evil company. We're going to shut down that company, and then where I'm going to take some of your money that you pay in taxes, and I'm going to put it into this company that I do have investments in, and they're going to build stuff. And I'm going to make a lot of money on this, but it's for the greater good. It's for the greater good. FYI, I was talking about Obama. Also, it's kind of interesting. I would like the list of people that invested in certain pharmaceutical companies before, they needed trillions and trillions of dollars. I would like to know who in our government invested in those companies and then poured trillions of dollars into those companies from taxpayers. And I want to see what their stock portfolio looks like. Can we do that? Something I've been saying with, I don't know if Fed was on board with it. I know nobody was on board with it. Government officials are not allowed to invest in any business that they have a hand in altering the laws on. I think that would be good. I don't think they should get paid. Yeah, it's insider trading. It's absolutely insider trading.
What are you having, Laura? I can't tell what that is. Is it a cookie?
It's a cookie.
It's a cookie? Okay.
It's a meatball cookie. Oh, is that chocolate? Sorry. Yeah, actually, Kronos insider trading is a thing. It's rampant in California and New York. This guy, Charlie Rangel, got caught years ago doing it during the Bush administration. He got caught hard, too. And so was, what's the guy's name? What's his name? Ralph? No. Oh, God. He has a dumb name. Barney Frank. He's another one who got caught doing it. Nothing happened to him. I met someone that worked for Barney Frank when I was in DC. All he or she, I don't remember how they wanted to be addressed. I really don't care. All they talked about was Barney Frank giving them a job and how they were trans. I never heard them talk about anything else. And they were at the bar that I went to quite frequently. And everyone kept asking the same stuff. Like they were just amazed. Like, this is a girl that this girl cut her breasts off and became a boy, and it's just so brave. And they just said the same thing over and over and over again. I was like, yeah, I did a flip on my bike. And they're like, you're being so sensitive. They're like, yeah, a week goes by, I go to the bar again, see them again. Like, hey, and they're talking the same thing. I go, hey, I did a flip on my bike. They're like, you ever get tired? It's the same thing over and over again. Like, all you talk about is just chopping off boobs.
What?
Like, I get that you love it, but you have to say it every day. Doesn't it get boring? I don't know. I've got ADD or ADHD. Not ADHD. I've got ADD or something, but I just can't listen to her say the same goddamn thing over and over and over again. Just, ugh. I get bored very easily. And Raquel, I think you do too, because I'm like, hey, come talk to this person. You're like, I would like a horsey. And you just run off.
I was listening to you, what you were saying.
But this is a true story when I play ESO with her. I'm like, come on, here, let's do this quest together. You have to talk to this person. And she's looking at the map like, ooh, I see a mushroom.
So it was my mission to get a mushroom.
Yes, this is all true, by the way.
And
That
like
wouldn't be boring, Kronos. Like, your friend at the bar just says the same thing every day. Like, they're just the people that kept asking the same questions over and over again. They're just virtue signaling. I understand that. It wasn't called that back then, but it's like, I want to go somewhere else. Like, did you guys see Ovechkin butt check that dude? That's Ovechkin, played for the Washington Senators hockey team. That was one of the things he did. He'd butt check people. He'd just go backwards and just smash the crap out of them. Like, no, we're having a conversation here. I'm like, it's the same conversation you had last week. Yeah, it'd be like Cheers, except for they just said the same thing every single time. Like, I had a gay friend named Patrick, and he was hilarious, and he didn't hit on people that he didn't think were gay. I don't know. It's hard to, like, he explained it to me. Like, I was hanging out with him. We were sitting on the patio, and I had my friend Carno there, and I just named drop. I hope he's not watching this. And like, my buddy went inside, and Patrick comes over, and he's like, I think your friend's gay. And I'm like, I think he's actually just kind of asexual. Like, he's been living alone, just working, 16 hours a day for so long. Like, I don't think he thinks about sex. And Patrick's like, yeah, actually, I can kind of see that. And there was this Russian dude we hung out with there, and there was this really tall. He was Irish. Like, his family was from Ireland, and he was born in Ireland, and he came over. Didn't have much of an accent, and he was kind of tall. Swear to God, he looked Arabic or Middle Eastern. And he says, everyone tells me that, and I think they're crazy because I look at myself in the mirror and I see an Irish person. I'm like, you do not know. I was like, you're either lying about your family history or you're being honest, but you don't look Irish at all. And there was a whole group of us that hung out. We would watch MMA when they had it at the pub, or we watch a lot of boxing at the pub. And this dude is there, and he's messing with our Russian friend, and our Russian friend's a little shorter, and he's just a smart ass, complete wise ass. And this guy comes over and just starts fucking with him. And I don't remember why. I don't think anyone knew why, but it's just, he's drunk, and he's just giving the Russian guy a hard time. And he's in IT. Like, he's not like the skinny, tiny little dude. He's muscular, but he's still kind of a nerd. And I started getting involved. I'm like, why don't you just, mellow out and stuff? He's like, stay. What did he say? Stay out of. No, he didn't say stay out of it. He said like mind your. I don't remember whatever it was, but it was really aggressive, and he pushed my chest with his finger and tried to push me back, but his finger just bent. Like that's kind of funny. 'Cause I was working for a moving company and I was working out at that point, so it's pretty solid. And Patrick comes over there and starts talking to him, and he's like, you know what, fuck those guys. And I was kind of like laughing, but the Russian dude got pissed, and the Irish dude was like, the fuck, man? Like, did he just say that to us? And I kind of figured what was going on. So Patrick like takes him aside, like they just start talking about something else, and they do a couple of shots. They do, they do some shots at Jameson. And this dude is getting more and more hammered. Patrick's like, you know what? This place sucks. Let's get the fuck out of here. There's a bar next door. And I went, there's a hookah lounge next door. There's no bar next door. And then past the hookah lounge is the apartment complex that Patrick lives in. And I don't know if he was serious, but it was like a week later, I saw Patrick again. And I was like, did you take him to the hookah bar? He's like, no, I took him back to my house and I fucked him. I just thought that was great. Welcome back, Kitty Cat.
Okay. I got little potato wedges from Buffalo Wild Wings I'm snacking on.
Nice.
I got them like yesterday, but unlike French fries, these heat up way better.
I went there a few times at the one in Tampa. It was like maybe 2 years old. I think they had built it like when I was in DC. I left DC and moved back there. I went there a couple of times with friends of mine. They were just sitting in one of the stools, and these random dudes come over. Like, what do they call them? Is Chad the proper term?
Oh yeah, fucking
Like-
Chad.
Like they're wasps. They're wearing like
Wow.
khaki shorts and white tennis shoes and polo shirts.
Oh god, were they feds?
Like, huh? What?
Feds oftentimes wear them when they're trying to pretend to blend into civilians.
No, they're preppy douchebag asshole jocks.
Eh,
No, they weren't feds. So we're
It's almost as bad.
sitting there like my friends and I, like, I'm just wearing a t-shirt with like a Windows logo on it or some shit. Like, we're not, I guess, dressed for the occasion. And they come over and they start screwing with us. Now, this is great because Jeff wasn't there. He was like outside bitching about his girlfriend or somewhere. So I don't remember. Jeff's crazy. He was like the anti-Chad, I guess. Like, he
No.
worked out, but he would always wear like cut off shirts, and not like cut offs like it was nice, like smooth cut off to show off his arms. He wore cut offs because he just tore the sleeves off in anger. That's who he was. He also liked doing pills that I didn't like doing, and made him feel 50 feet tall and bulletproof, which he had been doing before we got to Wild Wings. And these guys come over and start harassing me and my other buddy. They're like, "Yep, this is our table, man. Sorry, I apologize. I apologize. Like, it's their fault. Like, the waitress or the bartender should have told you that this is actually our table. We sit here all the time. So, if you guys could get up, I do apologize. I do apologize." I said, "No, I'm not getting up."
Where
We're
the
gonna-
fuck were they sitting before that then?
They had just come in.
Oh,
They were just being douchebags. But it's that way, like, oh, I'm really sorry. I apologize so much. It's just, it's a bit of misunderstanding. But if you could get the fuck up out of our chairs, because we're just going to go ahead and take over your table and make you move. Ryan was not one to be trifled with. I'd avoid a fight. Like, if I was alone, I'd probably get up and leave. But I was not alone. And I tried like an idiot to reason with them. And I said, there's a table right there. You can say, oh, no, man, it's cool. It's cool, bro. It's cool, bro. You guys can get up and you guys can move over there. But because this is our table. And then Jeff came in.
oh god.
And he put his hand on one of their shoulders and just, like, I guess, squeezed or something. And he went, you guys can go away now, or something like that. I don't know. But he just gets this look in his eye. And they left us alone. And I was like, thank you, Jeff. Like, I felt like a little kid, even though I'm older than the guy. I'm like, thank you, Jeff.
I'd be like, "You're my knight in shining armor, Jeff."
Yeah. Yeah. If I had said that to him, he would have punched me in the face.
I would have thought it was funny.
No, if you like made gay comments to him, he would not be okay with that.
Silently judging him.
So I mentioned before, like I prefaced it before telling the rest of the story. He's crazy. Like sober, he was fine, but like when he get on those things, the footballs or whatever the hell they called them.
Xannies?
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you, that's what it
fuck. I've heard that term. It took me a minute. We said football. I'm like, football.
Hey, he'd pop a lot of them. He'd be
Disclaimer, you may not remember kicking someone's ass later.
or why?
Ooh.
And he was a big dude, and he was trained in some kind of martial art. I don't remember, but I mean,
Oh, wow.
he had trophies, and he got video. He started when he was, a preteen, and we're talking like we're almost 30 at this point. So he's been doing it for a while. He's pretty good at it. Again, I don't know what it was in the sound of his voice. If I could mimic what he did to that dude, to Chad, number one, like just put his hand on his shoulder and whatever he did to him.
Right here, there's a tendon right there.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, there's it's not trapezoid. I know. My brain is trying to.
Those are the trapezius muscles. I know them well.
Thank you.
I have massive trapezius muscles.
I bet you do. Anyway, but yeah, anywhere along here, you'd be like, "Hey, buddy," and just kind of dig.
Yeah, that's them right there.
A little, especially if the dude is as big as you or bigger. And is there something in a quiet tone that is frightening?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what we said there. What Chronos?
Well, sometimes it's not even how you. It's not what you say; it's how it's said. And
yeah, that's what I mean. Like if I could mimic how he said what he said. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like you guys
probably leaned in kind of close because you can sit at that table over there. It has this like the dig. That was probably unnerving enough. The guy was like,
well, I think it was. Ryan was skinny. He's always been skinny. But I mean, if you look at him, you're like, okay, he's just a skinny guy.
Oh yeah, watch out.
They don't understand that skinny dudes will
skinny ones are
fight until they're dog meat. Like, and Ryan was like that. He's not going to hit you as hard as like I could or as hard as Jeff could, but he will hit you way more times.
Hey, it makes up for it. The only time I've ever been knocked out was I got elbow checked by a skinny little fucker. He was a wiry bastard. I was like,
I've never been knocked out. I've been knocked silly. And I've had
I hit the ground like a ton of bricks. I just collapsed. He got me right across there. I had this weird mark on my face from the curvature of his elbow. It looked like a Nike symbol.
Chronos, why are you saying thank you for saying the word waitress?
Yeah, waitress, wait staff. Like what do you want him to call it? What would you expect him to call it? I'm curious. I want to know too.
Well, if he's being sarcastic, that's what.
I don't think he's being sarcastic.
I'm still wondering why. Either way,
like, is there a mean way to say waitress? Also,
I was quoting Chad from the story. Oh, the waitress, misunderstanding, the bartender misunderstanding. They didn't know, but this is our table. They just forgot to tell you. So if you guys can get up and leave. And Ryan and I were like, no, we're good. We're going to sit there.
If the waitress forgot, then why didn't you go tell the waitress to have it handled?
That's because they were full of shit. Like this is.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Call him out. Like, well, then maybe the waitress should come over here and fix this.
No, once he had that attitude, like, oh no, it's fine, bro. Just if you guys could just get up and move, guys. Like, come on, bro. Like, this is our table.
Well, yeah.
As soon as he said that, no.
Well, Chronos, yeah, a waiter is a waiter and a waitress is a waitress, dude. Like, where did you think we were at, bro? I've never called a male waiter waitress. Never. I will sometimes call male or female waiter, but I don't, not the other way around.
I was a host.
I called them waitress.
I was a host. I wore a dress shirt, tie, slacks, dress shoes. I wore my nice watch that my uncle got for me. I was a host. People would come into the restaurant. I was the first person they see. I looked very professional, wore my glasses. My hair was always combed and neat, nice and neat. I always wore nice cologne, clean shaven every day before I go to work. Very, very presentable. This restaurant had $25 plates of pasta. It's flour and egg. That's what pasta is.
It's not about how
Flour-
you
flour
make
and
it
egg.
together, though.
Well, no, it's still pasta. It's still the base is flour and egg. That's what it is. It's flour and egg. I mean, they had zucchini agnolotti. So they shred zucchini real thin to make like noodles, and they wrap it together, and they mix it with a whole bunch of their really yummy stuff in the kitchen. A little piece of cheese in the middle, and then they make ravioli out of it. Essentially, it's just circle ravioli. That's what the agnolotti is.
Wait,
$25 for that.
Oh,
It's
Lordy.
zucchini and pasta. It's $25.
Good grief.
So it's a nice, expensive restaurant. Again, I was wearing dress shirt, tie, slacks as a host. And one of the wait staff kept on calling me a hostess. And I said, you seem confused. And he said, what do you mean? I said, the girl that works the day shift, the one that wears a dress that has the breasts, that's a hostess. And he went, yeah, but you have the same job role, so you're a hostess. And I went, no, I'm a host. It's pretty basic English, though. And he kept calling me that, so I stopped talking to him. And he was like, oh, it's really pissing him off. It's really pissing him off. And one of the managers came over. This is actually a friend of mine. It said something I don't remember. I used to party with him. We're at his place getting stoned. And he's like, he's doing that just to piss you off, right? I'm like, yeah, that's what makes him a piece of shit. And my buddy didn't know how to handle that. He's like, well, he's just teasing you. And I went, yeah, that's bad. That's a bad thing. Doing that to someone over and over and over again, it's called harassment. That's a bad thing. Do you not understand? And he went, well, he's just messing with you. And I don't care.
You need like a big
I
knife
don't
or anything?
His motivations mean nothing to me. He's being an ass.
I worry for my girl. I'm sorry, I may have pissed people off.
It's gonna suck for me.
Oh, hey,
Yeah, what's a male seamstress called? Is there
a
a term?
seamster. A seamster, I'd reckon.
Is
But
that a real thing?
I
I've
say
never heard-
steward or stewardess. But actor, I oftentimes it fluctuates on whether or not I will call
They-
female actress an actor.
They started saying
Huh?
flight attendant
Oh yeah,
decades
mine.
ago.
It's in
They started
the-
saying flight attendant instead of
Fucking
a tailor. No, but a tailor can be a woman too. Like
Some people have hard faces.
Mm-hmm.
a
and they have teeth
seamstress
like
is
cut
a
your hand off.
seamstress is someone specifically that just sews. Like a tailor does all the measurements and things like that. A woman could be a tailor.
Oh yeah, Taylor. Well,
Or like a blacksmith.
yeah, that's a tough one.
There
Now
are
this is
women that
getting
are
me all
blacksmiths,
confused.
but that doesn't have a female male version of the word. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
blacksmith.
got me all confused now.
Or pilot. Like there's no pilot S. Seamstress is the only like. Actually, now I want to look it up. Moira's probably right. What is the male seam? It's seamster. The term tailor is gender neutral. Yeah. So tailor refers to men or women. So I've never heard the word seamster before. It's actually making me gag as I say it because it's just such a stupid word. Was that you laughing, Raquel? I thought I heard you giggle a little bit.
Yeah.
Butler, I believe, is also gender neutral, but it was a role specifically for a man. Like, there's different things that a butler did that were. I believe it's just like a domestic worker that runs a household. I don't think there is there's a female word for it. Maybe like handmaid? No, not a handmaid. Maybe it's just maid. But a maid would do more menial tasks than a butler. A butler would actually keep finances for some of the more expensive houses. They they didn't just run the kitchen. They didn't just, serve food and things like that. They managed the household. Actually, I looked it up. It's probably something stupid. It's probably another dumb word like butleress, which would just be a stupid word. Butler is usually male. Yeah, it's an older term, usually male. Charge of male servants. Housekeeper, usually a woman in charge of female servants. So housekeeper and butler are, again, I don't think there's a connotation that butler is specifically a male. Comes from England. It's just officer in charge of wine. That's what it means. Butelier, like it's just officer. Yeah, it doesn't have a connotation that is specifically a man or a woman. We're learning things. This is good.
Sorry.
Programmer S. Like chauffeur, I think
We're still on this?
because it's French. Yes, it's specifically a
Chauffeur
male.
S.
Like there's a masseuse.
Apparently.
A masseuse is a woman. A masseur is a man.
We.
I don't speak French either, but I'm aware that it's a language. I'm
that's
just teasing.
fair. That is fair.
Yeah, I know some words. And what are they called? Borrowed words or calc? I think another term for it is calc.
I think isn't it like algae?
Huh? What?
Like kelp? I was kidding.
It's like a calc is like a borrowed term, like taco. Taco is taco in English and in Spanish.
Election board.
So like butler comes from French, chauffeur comes from French. So those aren't English terms, but they're. Let me look up what the term. It's called calc, I believe. CALQUE. Yeah, it's a loan translation. As a noun, it's a loan translation. So it's a word that's already a word in another language that the home language doesn't, or base language doesn't have a term for. So it's a root for root translation, word for word translation, literal. And verb originate as a function of a loan translation. Like c'est la vie is this such is life. So that's also an example of a calc. I know all kinds of weird shit. Yeah, I don't know where algae came from.
Fixated. Focused on trying to find patterns and indiscrepancies.
Yeah, I'm fairly well read. I know lots of
Discrepancies.
random things about English that not a lot of people do.
And trying to make
Which is why people like, what's her name, Lorenz, irritate the hell out of me. Because they write, that's their job. They're a writer. And
so this is perfect.
they can't write anywhere near as well as I can. Like, how did you get the job? What did you do to get the job, Taylor?
Yeah.
Woof.
I'm a cat and I do not accept that.
You're not a cat.
How fucking dare you, sir?
I've seen you. How many nipples you got?
That is none of your business.
Well,
You leave my teats out of this, sir.
it made Raquel laugh real good.
Well, yes.
So that new Thor movie is apparently DOA.
What is it?
The initial reviews are kind of, even from the outlets that they pay for, are not real good looking. So when I review a movie, I actually just did kind of a movie review earlier of Terminator 2 with Miss Martin Muses. She's great. I like her. Teresa's awesome. And she had Eddie and someone else on the stream. And they were talking about Terminator 2, and I started bringing up things that, and there's no spoilers in what I'm talking about. I said, the acting's good, even though the character of Sarah Connor is military. And this is stuff that's in the trailers as well. She's military trained. She's very hard in her emotional states, in her convictions. She's very, very strong in her convictions. She is also very motherly. She comes off very feminine at times, but also very strong at times. She's doing curls inside of this room that she's being kept in, inside this psych ward. She's doing pull-ups, and she looks ripped, and she looks in good shape, but she still looks feminine. And the same thing with her character and the story arc from the first Terminator. She's not just some soft little waitress. Like, she's dealt with some crap, and that's how you kind of review a movie. I talked about the musical score. I talked about the acting. I talked about the way the characters developed through it.
Ooh, do you think we should like hang out and watch a movie? All right, Raquel might be cheating on us with another channel at the moment.
How did you know?
You were quiet and you didn't respond.
So, yeah, I'm watching Slasher. He's about to end his live stream. And we watched Boosh.
Well, if you're gonna cheat on me, at least it's Slasher. Ooh, somebody mad. I mean, I don't know if they're mad at me, but they're mad. Let me go check their Facebook to see why they're mad. Let's see. It depends on who they supported. That'll let me know. Because either mad at what happened or mad at what I said. So I'm trying to see who they supported in the election, and that'll give me an idea. Ooh, hold up.
Did we lost Boosh?
I hope not.
Ran all the way back home. Like, maybe tonight's not the night to go on a walk.
If you don't feel it, then listen to that. That is
I
okay.
started walking. I was just like, and I started like going like this, and I was like, got a bad feeling immediately. I was like, I'm going back home.
Good idea. It's always good to listen to those instincts.
I was like right going past Miss Alexander, so I was just like this, like do it once, and I did it for the second time, and I just like felt like a rush, just like something bad. I was just like, yeah, I'm going home.
Good. I'm glad you're safe. But if you are feeling nervous, is Brian in the house?
Yeah, I'm not feeling that nervous. I'm fine.
No, I just want to say if you felt like maybe we should secure one or both of the doors.
It's a different kind of bad feeling.
Oh, just scary out there feel?
I guess so.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, Slasher just ended his live stream.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like, there's like, I made a comment about one of the candidates and she had angry face. I don't know if she was angry at what the situation or that I said this about this particular person. So I'm like, I don't know where. No, she didn't tell me to go fuck myself, so that's always good.
I think we lost Boosh.
Oh, she gave one of my other things a like. So I think she was upset with the information, not with me. So she gave one of my other comments a like. Okay. I was trying to get an idea because there was a few people who supported Kitzel, but I think, yeah, he's gone. Yeah, that supported Kitzel, but Kitzel, apparently I'm not the only one that finds that guy sus. He popped up out of nowhere, like practically a month before filing, and then like suddenly raises like $1.3 million and brought in an oddly high number of votes. It was all very sus, and I was under the impression that he supposedly had beef with our current governor because there was some argument over IT and cybersecurity. I don't fucking remember what this shit was. And someone I talked to today says they actually been buddies for a long time. I'm like, that motherfucker, he was a buffer. He was coming in to make sure that me and Sherwood, he was soaking up those votes that maybe Stick couldn't get. That motherfucker. I already had a bad feeling about Kitzel. So the person I was on the phone with, I was like, yeah, this whole thing, I didn't tell Kitzel about it because I don't trust him. I haven't. So fuck him. And so the other person...
I think Bush might have internet issues.
No, Bush.
Because he's just dropped out all of a sudden.
Well, hopefully he comes back. Someone message him, see if he's all right.
I'm sure he's okay.
Well, maybe I said something, or maybe he thinks I said something I didn't say and upset him.
I don't know.
I don't always speak clearly, so somebody might misunderstand something I said, and I have enough going on. I don't want unnecessary stress, because there's a fight already.
All right, let me message him.
Okay, because I'm already had people mad at me. I don't want unnecessary shit. And if this could be avoided, let's do it.
All right, let me see what's going on.
I mean, I hope his internet gets better, but I hope I didn't run him off. Let me go clean and organize my ashtray. I cannot stand a cluttered ashtray. Shake out my blanket. I hate when I get debris in my blanket. Drives me nuts. You'd think I would use this as a freaking bib to eat when I get debris on this thing. Oof. I tried sleeping without my blanket last night. It felt weird. Well, I never organized my ashtray back in the day. Dude, yeah, I cannot stand it. Like, I keep my cigarette stubbies so I can roll my cigarettes because tobacco is fucking expensive. But I cannot have it stay in a whole bunch of piles of ashes. Chris, he will just pile up cigarette butts and it looks like a blooming onion from Outback Steakhouse. It's a fucking mess. I can't. I usually empty his ashtray because I can't stand the sight of it. I'm like, bruh, no, I will clean it for you just so I don't have to see this.
All right. Bush said he lost power.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm glad I didn't run him off, but I'm sad that this happened. Because otherwise I'd have to apologize for something, and I'd have to figure out what it was.
Oh, it sounds like his whole neighborhood just went out.
Oh, shit. Can he get on his phone?
I messaged. I think he is on his phone, and that's how he's.
Well, okay, that's true. But I meant like take the link and come back in for a bit. But all right, well, we can end the stream here. I love you guys. I've been streaming for like 3 hours, and I'm super glad that y'all hung out, listened to me vent and bitch because it's been weird.
Sounds like his whole neighborhood is out of power.
Well, at least he wasn't picked on and singled out, I suppose. Tell him just in case things get wild, tell him to stay strapped. People like taking advantage of power outages to try to loot and break into places. Oh, lots of hugs, Kronos. We love you.
Love you, Kronos.
And lots of hugs to all of you who came to visit. We appreciate you.
Later, guys.